insane. Oh, it's a shame. Storytelling when I can come in. Oh, don't mean to struggle dying. One more time, my ancestors. I swear I mean no offense, but you better learn to read. It's all about membership. For the young and old, ugly girls and boys, I put you on my list and make you clap to this. Man, I just a nigga trim, but only one can. And soon you say that's him. D-V-N-O for capital letters, printed in gold, cause details make the girls sweat even more. Why are they shaking their belt? No need to ask my name to figure out how cool I am. D-V-N-O for capital letters, printed in gold, cause details make the girls sweat even more. Why are they shaking their belt? No need to ask my name to figure out how cool I am. Anyone read, anyone feel that I'm losing my patience? I just came here to bounce. Ladies out waxed, they all know I'm coming. I'm losing my patience, I just came here to bounce. Baby, for capital letters, printed in gold, cause details make girls sweat even more. Why are they shaking their belt? No need to ask my name to figure out how cool I am. Baby, for capital letters, printed in gold, cause details make girls sweat even more. Why are they shaking their belt? No need to ask my name to figure out how cool I am. Can anyone read, anyone feel that I'm losing my patience? I just came here to bounce. Ladies out waxed, they all know I'm coming. I'm losing my patience, I just came here to bounce. D-V-N-O for capital letters, printed in gold, cause details make the girls sweat even more. Why are they shaking their belt? No need to ask my name to figure out how cool I am.
What is going on, everybody? Oh, we're lagging. There we go. How are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, sorry I'm so late. I thought I was gonna be a lot earlier. We got the new microphone on. We got not the microphone. We got the new camera on. That's why we're looking so swag. That's why we can do this. Watch. The zoom in, the dramatic zoom in for dramatic effect. What's going on? That intro song that we were listening to, that was DVNO by Justice. Really good song. DVNO, 4 capital letters, printed in gold because details make the girls. I forget what it says after that, but hey, so good to see you, everybody. Who do we have in the live chat? We got Soul Beamer. What's going on, Soul Beamer? We've got Ave Christus Rex. We've got Brennash. We got Train Man. We've got hey, ore Shano, ¿cómo estamos? Espero que estés muy bien. Espero que estés muy bien. ¿Qué estás haciendo despierto? Es como a las 4 de la mañana allá. Qué locura. ¿Qué están haciendo? No, en serio, ¿qué están haciendo? Ah, mentira. Es como medianoche. Hey, so good to see you guys. We got Meow Groiper in the chat. What's going on? We got Liberty Santana. What's going on, Liberty? Who else do we have here? Who do we have in the Twitter chat? See, Twitter's always the one that Twitter's always the one that surprises me. We get a lot of viewership on Twitter. Guys. Whoa, who's this? This guy is so mean to me. This Chad Patriot guy on Twitter just hits me with the F this guy. What did I do? You guys like the thumbnail? Do you guys like the thumbnail? ChatGPT helped out a little bit, I will admit. ChatGPT did help out a little bit on the thumbnail, but I hope you guys enjoy it nonetheless. We're wearing a colorful shirt today, and we're very excited to dive into our favorite Sussy Baka socialist, Salt Lake City Sussy Baka socialist, Nate Blouin, sat down and was interviewed by our favorite dog abusing, violence heralding, Marxist, socialist, whatever. There's a bunch of labels you could ascribe to him. Hassan Piker, Turkish, indeed. But we'll be reviewing their collaboration. We'll be going over everything that happened. Big moment for our buddy Nate here. Now, Nate and I, we've had a run-in before. We've had some moments. He very cowardly refused to shake my hand. I don't know if Rilliam is watching this. Rilliam just liked the tweet. Rilliam, if you're here, what do you think of the thumbnail? Because he's kind of goated up with the thumbnails. He goats up with the thumbnails. He's got it going with the thumbnails. But hey, I don't want to freaking ramble, drone on for too long. I think we need to get into the content because it is already pretty late. I was, however, using my MyFitPal app, and I've got another 300. It's right there. I've got 305 calories that I can still eat tonight. So I'm going to be having a Mountain Dew. As you can see, macro-wise, I'm killing it. Like, look at this. 197 grams out of 259 grams of carbs, 73 grams of fat, 141 grams of protein. I'm kind of killing it. I'm totally killing it today. I've eaten 2,000 calories. I need 305 more, which puts me at actually a pretty good caloric deficit. It's like a 400 calorie deficit because my maintenance is like 2,800, I think. Yo, Saturn on Wax followed. Let's freaking go. But yeah, let me grab that Mountain Dew. It's in the freezer right now. Let me grab that Mountain Dew, and then we can dive in to the stream with our buddy Hassanathan Piker. Also, we do have a super chat goal. This is the Swag on Nate Blouin super chat goal. If you want to go to powerchat.live/kaiclips, send in a comment, send in support. We're going to be dunking on Nate Blouin. We're going to be going over everything they talk about. There is a gal I know who happened to be on the same flight as Nate Blouin over to LA shooting this. Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that a small world? What a funny small world it is. What's going on? Somebody just said something in a group chat. I gotta see this. He said, use this. Use what? Use what? It's not loading. I wish it would load, man. I wish it would load. Oh, I'm gonna have no clue until I get off the stream and can actually check that group chat. Cause there it is. Oh, this is funny.
I said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
That's so real. That's literally me. That's literally me. Yo, thank you, Meow. Thank you, Meow, for posting the Power Chat link there in the chat. Yeah, let's just get it started. Let's throw up the stream. The Hassanathan Piker stream. There it is. And the good thing is that they sit like so opposite of each other, so I can just kind of sneak in. Like if I put myself in the middle of them, it works out really well. I just get caught in the crossfire. Yo! And here we go, and it starts and it begins. Thank you, Meow Group. Appreciate you, big guy. Appreciate you, big guy. Too kind, too kind. What a wholesome gentleman.
Wiper sent $10 meow.
I'm gonna drag the chat up to the top, or maybe nah. Oh, I'll keep it there. We'll keep the chat there. If you guys begin to start covering the face of the gentleman, I'll change it. But nonetheless, without further ado, let me grab my Mountain Dew, and you guys can listen to Hassan Piker stream. You guys can get brain dead.
And
BRB
a position when you don't.
It's literally
really
going to be just
have
1 millisecond.
Convictions.
Don't
whatsoever.
look at the ruining of the studio. Don't.
It's
look.
much easier to disparage someone than it is to try to build an affirmative vision of the world. Okay. It's also, politics is somewhat boring for the average person. I know that this is a hyper autistic community that really loves politics, so it's hard to get that point across to you guys somehow.
All right, we're back.
All right. But
all right, you guys stupid yet? Are you brain dead yet? Listening to Hassan Piker for 5 seconds, literally 15 seconds.
For the average person, they hate.
Yo, Obsidian Anon, thanks for following.
They don't want to like think about these things, let alone
think about what things.
Politics outside of the
we're tapped in. We're tapped in.
Duopoly that currently exists.
The duopoly.
Republicans. That is not an issue that they've ever.
I don't want to pause it too much. Because I know we've got a lot to go. But it's like this guy says duopoly. This guy learned one word. This guy learned whenever he learns a philosophical term, you will hear that word ad nauseum for the rest of the year. It's as if he's filled his quota of new words for the year and refuses to learn any new ones. And so this word duopoly, what does it describe? It describes like two competing parties or systems, right? Am I tweaking about that? Duopoly. Or is it when two things have control of a market share? Duopoly. Let's see. Economic or political condition in which power is concentrated in two persons or two groups. Why can't you say two-party system, dude? MF needs to say duopoly. That does not make you more of a socialist just because you say the word duopoly. Holy performative. Anyway, let's actually watch this.
Broach, let alone teaching Americans about international relations, especially from a Marxist framework.
Cheers.
Oh boy.
Cheers,
now
Mountain
we've
Dew.
reached the 7th layer of hell.
Mountain Dew. Happy capitalism.
So
cream soda, dirty Mountain Dew. Let's go.
You know,
Right,
it's much easier
my bad,
to just be
Hassan,
like, this
in.
guy is bad. He's responsible for all things woke, all things that have dominated your lives, and lean into the well-established reactionary attitudes that many young men have, for example, and move on.
He's talking about us.
But what do I always say?
He's talking about us.
Good work. That's all that fucking matters. Keep your head down, and you know, continue building a movement, as I have done.
Guys, I'm sorry. I just want to put a trigger warning out. Content warning. Hassan Piker does say swear words. That's why we can't take him seriously. He does say swear words. Just a content warning for everybody. I'm going to be editing this and uploading it to YouTube. There will be no swear words in the upload, so don't worry.
Done over and over again. So yeah, on that note, Nate Blouin, who is Utah State Senator in District 13.
He's just reading it off,
building. Bro. Okay.
He's just
He's running for
reading it
U.S.
off.
House in Utah 1, which is a newly redrawn district that Kamala won by 24 points. He's a Utah.
Bro said Utah 1. Now, I understand. I think everybody understands he's talking about Utah's first congressional district. But you could say UT 1, because that's the way it's frequently abbreviated. But he says Utah 1. He doesn't say Utah's first. He doesn't even specify it's a congressional district, does he? Does he say he's a candidate in this district?
Who is Utah State Senator in District 13 is in the building. Okay. He's running for U.S. House in Utah 1, which is a new.
Maybe that's okay. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You can assume.
Newly redrawn district that Kamala won by 24 points.
He almost put it in the past tense. He almost said redistricted.
Points. He's a Utah State Senator. This is centered right in the heart of Salt Lake City after more than a decade of Republican-drawn gerrymanders. What's going on? You can come in if you want. Here, I'll keep.
I'm not going to shock you. You can come in. I'm not going to shock you like my dog. I'm not going to. No. You can come in. Don't worry. I only shock the dog. Don't worry. I only shock the dog. Don't worry, Nate Blouin. You can enter. Where's the swastika sword back here? It's like right back here. It's hidden.
You walk in. But yeah. After more than a decade of Republican-drawn gerrymanders, the Utah District Court in late 2025 threw out the GOP's congressional map and ordered the adoption of a more representative map. The move turned what used to be 4 blood red districts into a Salt Lake County Center district that Kamala Harris would have carried by 24 points.
I love how Democrats will look at you and they'll be like, no, wait. It is not gerrymandered. We only basically took every single Democratic voter in the entire state and put them into literally one district, creating a plus 24 Kamala Harris district. And what did we made all of the other? We literally made all of the other districts much less competitive. I mean, that's what it is. There's no competition in these districts. You can make an argument, actually. There's a good argument to be made that if you want moderate politics, then you should balance districts. But what this gerrymandered redistricting did, thank you, Blake Moore, co-sponsor of the Better Boundaries Initiative, what it did is it created a super deep blue Democratic seat that had never existed. Admittedly, there had been a Democrat who won a congressional seat in Utah. It happened, what is it, the what was formerly the 2nd district, if I'm not mistaken. It was Burgess Owens' seat. Burgess Owens won it from Ben McAdams, who was a Democrat that had occupied the seat. Ben McAdams voted to impeach Donald Trump back in 2020 and or whenever it was, and lost the seat. So, you know, there was an opportunity for Democrats to win seats because you have a competition of political ideologies in competitive districts. You find more moderate results a lot of the times because you can't alienate voters too much. Nonetheless, the judiciary in the state of Utah had a moment of significant overreach when they decided not only that the maps proposed by the legislature, and the legislature following the Utah state constitution, the legislature shall, it says specifically, shall draw congressional boundaries, congressional maps. They decided not only that the congressional maps provided by the legislature were not good, that they didn't heed this initiative, this proposition that had passed, but also that the judiciary, it gave itself the power to select the map that had been drawn by the plaintiffs in the original case against the state of Utah. The plaintiffs were, Mormon Women for Ethical Government, and the rest of the Better Boundaries crew. So literally, it's like the judiciary, the judicial branch, giving itself the power to decide this special interest group, the map that it drew, we're going to select that map over the legislature, which has the constitutional right and responsibility to draw maps in Utah. So anyway, that's the rundown for those who don't know.
Blouin has positioned himself as a Bernie-adjacent progressive, focusing on climate change, foreign policy, and the affordability crisis. He's earned a perfect rating from the Sierra Club and endorsements from Track APAC and the Congressional Progressive Caucus PAC, highlighting his commitments to peaceful foreign diplomacy, passing the Green New Deal, championing Medicare for all, and taking on corporate monopolies. Nate Blouin.
Now, the reason he has to say that is because Nate Blouin has not passed a single piece of legislation. A few people know this, but Nate Blouin has not, in fact, passed a single piece of legislation. How many, let's see, how many pieces of legislation has Nate Blouin passed? Let's see what we get. Born in New Hampshire, by the way. He has not passed any legislation under his name as of the latest available information. He has sponsored multiple bills. None have been successfully enacted into law. And he's been in Congress for 3 years. So, anyway, it's the situation. Supposedly there was a bill that passed the Utah State Senate before the session ended and had not been fully enacted into law. So it's pending. Maybe we can give him some points there, but there you go. Yo! Whoa! Wowza! Wowza! Asian Mormon! What's going on, big dog?
Asian Mormon sent $100.
Oh, let's freaking
Nasty
go.
Nate really got flown out by a brown man to sit on a chair for the internet after being cucked by a black man and by his own party.
Dude, so freaking true. So freaking true. Yeah, Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate. I try and I don't go too hard with the name calling. I try not to. Nate truly, it's too easy. Yeah, I got flown out by a brown Turkish, in fact. Turkish man. All my Armenians, we stand with you. We stand with you. Anyway, well, that's Azerbaijan. That's my bad. All my Germans, we stand with you. Okay, let's don't look into that. Anyway, he got flown out by a brown man to sit on a chair for the internet after being cocked by a black man and by his own party. Wait, who do you mean though? Which one do you mean? Dude, and the Democratic primary, I mean, who's still in the running? Derek Brown, he dropped out. Derek Brown was the first man to receive, he basically actually appealed. He made an appeal to the Supreme Court in Utah, appealing his right to have a gay marriage during a time when it was not legal in the state. He was the first person, I think, in the state and maybe in the country to have and win that kind of a case. So he dropped out of the race. It really is a who's who of like the most progressive, cringe, democratic socialist politicians ever. And the reason they are so radical is because this is such a progressive district, because it's not at all moderated. So who do you have in the running? You've got Nate Blouin, who has not passed any legislation, who is self-avowed democratic socialist, wears a pink leotard as he rides on bicycles. I don't know. I feel bad. I'm being pretty rude. Nate Blouin, who has tweeted out, he called the college Republicans Hitler Youth. What's up with that? Nate Blouin is, he's also been known to take a crap in the parking lot of a Latter-day Saint church building. A ward. He one time opened up pornography in front of sister missionaries, I believe. Actually, I don't know if it's specified whether they're sister missionaries. I don't like using a lot of that information because, admittedly, I think that had been drudged up by... Is that a word, drudge? Or is it drug? Maybe. Drudge is a word. It's like the Drudge Report. Anyway. You get what I'm saying. Let's chill. Let's not don't get me started with all these drudges and these duopolies. Don't get me started with all the duopolies. My mind's just stuck on that. I'm just stuck thinking about all these duopolies in our economy and in our political system. I just can't even handle these other words. I hit my quota. No, but this information was uncovered. It was procured in an act of muckraking, I believe, at the behest of Ben McAdams, who is the front runner right now in the election. And they found posts that he had made on Reddit from like 15 years ago. And if we look this up right now, it's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy, the kind of stuff that he said. And people reached out to him. Like, I know guys that reached out to him and were like, hey, I'm sorry this is happening to you. And he ended up, of course, kowtowing. He said, no, I'm just really sorry about the things that I said. So here it is. Utah House Democratic hopeful mocked sexual assault Mormons. A top Democrat running for an open congressional seat in Utah has authored a slew of offensive posts on internet forums denigrating Mormons and making crass members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. First of all, buddy. Also, Asian Mormon, did you ever specify who it was that you meant? Did you ever specify? I don't know if you said it in the chat. If you did, you'll have to let me know. Yeah, Asian Mormon is single-handedly funding the career. So true. Why are you always coming on at 1 a.m.? Hey, that's my bad. I had to set it up. I had to get the, whatchamacallit. Yo, Mormon Girl, let's freaking go. Mormon Girl 007 got her mission call to Gilbert, Arizona, the Mecca. The Mecca outside of Utah. That is legendary. Gilbert's also very beautiful, very high trust, awesome people. Good luck in Gilbert. That's actually so legendary. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm proud of you. You're gonna kill it. You're totally gonna kill it. Salutes to Mormon Girl 007. Anyways, back to the less uplifting things. Let's read about some of the stuff that Nate Blouin said on the internet. And then somebody, if they know the black man that Asian Mormon was talking about, let me know. Keep me posted. Keep me posted, twins. I'm looking at the YouTube and the Kick chat. Let's talk about Israel. We'll actually get to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry. the normies found Israel. We don't talk about it anymore. I posted a TikTok about that today. The Israel criticism should have been gatekept much harder than it was. Rue says in the chat, some people have said things in their past they aren't proud of, but also that they don't believe anymore. It is important to see where they are going and what they are saying currently. I actually completely agree with you. And I actually don't like mentioning a lot of this stuff because I've had similar attacks thrown against me for not similar comments. My comments were not as bad, but certainly for things I've said in the past. And so I actually don't like this strategy, but I think what I think is funny is there's certain things where now it's like, I would never do that again, but it's such a nothing burger. Like, look at this. Blouin recommended, okay, this was weird, and I don't like the way this essay goes over it. Blouin recommended buying a GoPro camera for filming porn with your underage sister. That's not what he said. Dude, don't make me defend Nate Blouin. Don't make me steel man Nate Blouin. What the freak is this? This is why I just hate journalists. You know, journalists truly are the enemy of truth. They are the enemy of truth. Trump vindication. What's going on? What is going on? He was right about the journos. But it's just like, I mean, this is not real. What was this conversation? Looking into a cam for ski season, everyone going with the GoPro, or is there something else to hit up on the market? This was from 2011. They found messages that he had sent on Teton Gravity Research on this forum about skiing that has maybe 12 messages on it. And they found it from 15 years ago. And he responds, I think very obviously sarcastically, for filming porn with your underage sister. Yeah, that's a good call, bro. Obviously sarcasm there. It is funny that his username is addicted to blow. That is funny. Anyway, doesn't seem he's very serious about that recommendation, I hope. Although some of his other comments about young boys and drag dancing in front of men might lead you to assume other things. Anyway, that was comment number 1 from 2011. That's so crazy. Blouin repeatedly referred to people as C words. I don't like to say that. It's a crass word. And used the word retarded and threatened to skull F someone. Let me see. This is on the same forum where he said, he said, did you miss the part where I said set? I guess it'd be safe to say a set is going to have significantly more surface area, though. No, it's here. Here it is. If you're worried about crossing your tips, you're probably not doing so well on skis. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't make excuses. Edit to add to that. Well, the surface area argument is retarded. If you're going to make it, you should back it up. I'm willing to bet a set of mid-fat skis have more surface area than that Minoski. Dude, ski bros. Can we talk about how insufferable ski bros are? Real Utahns know this. Skiers and snowboarders, they actually get so insufferable about this stuff. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe this is going to alienate parts of my audience. I like skiing. Don't get me wrong. I've done it. I'm not tremendous. I've done it. I enjoy it. But, like, can we just be serious for a second? You guys get really insufferable about this stuff. Like, really, really insufferable. Anyway, so use the word retarded. He's just like me for real. Where's this other one? This thread is effing retarded. I'm all for raunchy S, man. But, man, this thread is a new low for TJR. Man, just freaking chill. Where's the... We got one more here. This is all from the same forum. You gotta admit, dedicated guy. Where's this? This thread is effing retarded, if not trolling. And then the threat to skull F somebody. Where was this? What is this even pulling up, man? It's like pull push Reddit search. Oh. This is, you can look people, you can look up what they've said on Reddit. Oh my gosh. He said, I will skull F you if you do this on r/skiing. On r/skiing, he said, I will skull F you if you do this. Oh, and it was deleted by user from 14 years ago. I wonder if he said the word retard. Talisker went full retard. You never go full retard. Let's go. I wonder if he said the word... Let's see. Nope, no results. I wonder if he said the word... Nope, no results. I wonder if he said the word... Nope, no results. Okay, hey, you passed. You passed. You passed, Nate Blouin. You passed. Well done. He described the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as a bunch of bigoted a-holes with an ideology fostering ignorance and intolerance. Now, once you understand that the vast majority of the state of Utah is LDS, you quickly realize why making those kind of comments about members of the church is a bad idea if you're running for Congress. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's changed his mind on that. He probably still believes it. I don't know. Maybe he would put it different, but I don't think he's got a lot of love for the church. He said that the LDS church is definitely just a front for the largest U.S. drug cartel. That is stupid. We don't allow people to drink coffee and tea. Blouin also said that he took a crap. Oh, there it is. Query parking lot. Woman makes the local news for repeatedly pooping in a guy's yard while running out. This malicious fecal distribution. I took a poop in the corner of an LDS church parking lot here in Utah one time. What is up with the self-report, dude? I don't think you could beat that information out of me. What is going on? Anyway, he said there's no excuse for these posts. They're vulgar, stupid, and reflect a version of me in my early 20s that I'm ashamed of and have thankfully evolved past. I won't minimize what I wrote, and I believe every candidate forced to look at their old online activity should take full accountability for the person they once were behind the computer screen. To the people I hurt with my words, I sincerely apologize. Yeah, I don't know. For me, this is a big nothing burger because it's from 15 years ago. But it does give you a little bit of an insight into, you know, some of his attitudes. Anyway, we'll keep watching.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, very interesting times to be
indeed
to be running for office.
Indeed.
Let me do something real quick.
Let me see. He already wants to get out. Hassan Piker already wants to get out of it. He's already like, oh, it's over.
There we go.
Hassan already wants to
You
leave.
can
dog
watch
out
from
there
over
is
there
great.
instead.
Holy cow, they're gonna
Dog out there.
hold
Great.
on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Somebody said, holy cow, they're going to find Kai's Rainbow Six chat history and use it to slander him. Dude, it's bad. Okay, but Rainbow Six is ridiculous. Rainbow Six is actually ridiculous because They banned me for saying cracker. That's our word. We can say that. Rainbow Six Siege banned me for saying cracker. They punished me. I'm white. That is my right. Anyway, we'll keep watching.
Yeah. You guys
Oh, there we go.
If you want,
Meeting
you
the
can
dog
watch
out
from
there
over
is
there
great.
instead. What's up?
Meeting the dog out there is great.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Kaya, she's wonderful. All right.
I wonder if Nate knows. Nate has to know. Leaving the dog out there is great. And then freaking Hassan Piker. Oh yeah, the stupid mutt animal. The stupid mutt animal. Oh yeah, she's great. She's great, I guess. Destroys dog with his laser eyes. I mean, like literally, look at how frustrated he is.
Oh, there we go.
If you want,
Meeting
you
the
can
dog
watch
out
from
there
over
is
there
great.
instead. What's up?
Meeting the dog out there is great.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Kaya, she's wonderful. All right, suit game on point and better than
I believe it.
yours. Yeah, this is the one day where I'm not wearing a suit. I know, and everyone is freaking out about it. Okay, so first of all, how do you feel being in Los Angeles, California, so far away from home?
My name's Nate. It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's been 90 degrees in Utah already.
He's
which is
already
too hot for
he's
this time of
messing
year.
around on his computer already. He asks him a question. He's like, "All right, I'm not interested." Starts playing his Twitter video. Hold on.
Los Angeles, California, so far away from home.
My name's Nate. It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's been 90 degrees in Utah already, which is too hot for this time of the year. So it was nice when the fog blew out this morning and we got blue sunny skies. And I look forward to getting out for a run later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like you for real. Okay, every Utah knows that is the break the ice conversation. It's like, wow, it's so hot already. Wow, we didn't have any snow in the winter. that is the Mormon icebreaker or the Utah icebreaker.
All right. You're still dressed like De Niro. Okay, that's true. I do go through when I wear suits. I'm De Niro from Casino, and then when when I wear this outfit, it's De Niro from Taxi Driver.
True.
Okay.
I mean, it literally is. Like, literally is.
Watch your ad real quick. It's Bernie Sanders as well. It's a Bernie Sanders ad. And then we'll get to the questions that I have for
Hey,
you.
Blouin, I currently serve in the Utah State Senate. We've seen Utah transition from a place that was very affordable to a place that's making it tough to decide between paying for childcare or a mortgage. And so I'm running for Congress to address those issues. We need less of the equivocating about important issues to people's lives and more action that's actually going to be moving the needle in a way that helps people address the things that are hurting them.
Like
that
not
might be
passing
tariffs that are
legislation.
raising costs for folks, raising the minimum wage, Medicare for all. These are policies that are going to have material impacts on the lives of our constituents, and we need to go out and tell them that that's what we're going to be fighting for. We're not.
Interesting lore. Nate Blouin would be my senator. He was my senator when I was living up in Salt Lake. So interesting lore there. This is Bernie Sanders, by the way, posted this video.
Taking any corporate money. We're not taking APAC money. It's good to know that we still have politicians out there who are working in our interests. And having his endorsement after getting involved in politics because of him in 2016, it's like a full circle moment. And he's turned out a lot of people here in Utah. Every time he's come to Utah, we've filled the house. That willingness to step in
That is
and
true.
throw his weight.
That is true, dude. I've seen some of the Bernie rallies, like the show up. It's crazy how many Bernie bros there are in Utah. You would not believe it.
Behind me as someone who's going to be a champion for the working people, like standing up against Trump.
What's up,
against the
Cassius
billionaire
Khan?
class that is pitting us against each other, and that means a lot.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Blouin, everybody. So let's get right into it. New district, awfully beneficial for Democrats all of a sudden. How does having a safe blue district fundamentally change the way you can campaign? And why is it so important that voters don't just settle for a corporate moderate when they finally have the chance to elect a real progressive?
Dude, he wrote these questions down, and it's so obvious when he reads them. You hear his cadence. His cadence is so unnatural. Also, he's got this pimple thing on his face. You see that? Maybe you guys can't see it. He's got a thing covering a pimple there. But like, look at how obviously he's reading.
Against each other, and that means a lot.
Also, did Nate just spill that beer all over himself?
me.
Nate,
As
what are we
someone
doing? Are we
who's gonna be a
spilling beer
champion
all over
for
ourselves,
the
big
working
guy?
people
Come on.
and standing up against Trump, against the billionaire class that is pitting us against each other, and that means a lot.
He looks so unnatural drinking beer.
All right.
Beer needs to be
Hey,
illegal
Blouin,
in
everybody.
Utah. Alcohol needs to be illegal in Utah. Anyway, look at how obvious it is what he's reading.
So let's get right into it. New district, awfully beneficial for Democrats all of a sudden. How does having a safe blue district fundamentally change the way you can campaign? And why is it so important that voters don't just settle for a corporate moderate when they finally have the chance to elect a real progressive?
It's been incredible to see how this seat has rallied people to let Utah know that we have
He's tapped out, dude. Hassan already tapped out. Nate started talking for 2 seconds, and Hassan Piker said, "What's the chat saying? What's Kaya doing? Do I have to shock her? Do I have to electrocute her? Fry her?"
opportunity to put someone into Congress who is really going to fight back against, frankly, the supermajority in Utah. We have a legislative supermajority that I've gone up against time and time again. And to see what's coming
And
from,
it's staying that way.
from outside right now is just incredible. So Utah is a state where, we've seen Republicans just lead everything, and to have Bernie come to town several times in the last few years and to show how much people will stand up and rally behind him on issues like, workers' rights and really fighting back against all the corporate power we're seeing that the Republicans are exercising right now. It's been incredible to see how folks are reacting to having such a safe seat here.
That did not at all answer the question that Hassan Piker asked, which was about why should we elect a radical progressive instead of a moderate, and how does it change things up having a Democratic seat?
So you're not taking corporate PAC money.
No.
Hassan Piker did not care about the answer to that question. He literally did not care about getting an answer. Oh, on to the next one. So you're not taking any corporate PAC money.
Including support from APAC.
Correct.
However, your opponent, Ben McAdams,
Based?
is raking in massive amounts of cash from
True.
corporate PACs and establishment donors.
True.
We know APAC bundles millions in individual donations to
Now
hide
he's
their
reading
influence
again.
and crush progressives. What's your message to voters about how pro-Israel money and corporate dark money completely warp our Democratic primaries, and how can grassroots campaigns survive the financial onslaught?
He talks about APAC and about corporations and dark money and super PACs every single day for 10 hours. You're telling me he could not have just said that question without reading it? All right, let's
Really, it's been incredible to see how that does influence.
It's been incredible times 2. This is number 2 that he said. Instance number 2 where he said this. It's just so incredible. It's just so incredible
in this race. So I mean, running as a state senator, I'm used to small dollar donors, just kind of funding things and reaching out to people I know, and getting support that way. But when you're up against like a juggernaut, like we see in this race, it's a whole different ball game. And when you have the background as a former member of Congress, as McAdams does, and the relationships in DC and with all of these lobbying groups and all the votes that he has taken in the past, that they expect that same thing out of him. And I don't have that luxury because I'm not going to take those same votes that he would. It makes it challenging, but I think we've raised $600,000, something along those lines at this point.
What's going on, Michael Roman? Good to see you, big guy. What's going on, Hooler and Vinstock as well? Is Jimbo still a Mormon? I believe so. Kai, are you really in love with Leonardo Joni? No, I don't like her. I do not like her, Vinstock, okay? I do not like Leonardo Joni. She's not funny. She's a girl, and she's not funny. And I'm not into her, let me be clear. Anyway.
I think over 10,000 or around 10,000 individual donors. Bernie Sanders was incredibly helpful in that. I mean, the day he sent an email a while back, and you just see these donations come flooding in like $7 increments. And that allows me to focus on like...
All right, guys, where's the $7? All right, guys, come on. $7 increments, please. $7 increments, please. Sorry, Nate. Here on the kaiclips live stream, we only do $100 increments. we only do $100 increments once a stream by Mr. Asian Mormon. And 10 and 5s. Those are the most frequent denominations. Those are the most frequent values. Yo, Lauren Chen is liking the stream. Oh, speak of it. There it is. There it is. Oh man. Let's go, goat.
Asian Mormon sent $7. The vibe is giving Clav having to stream with another random of girl.
Dude, literally. This is like Clav when he like is just sitting there. He's being paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars, or he's just trying to crack. And she's like talking about whatever. Did you see I saw this clip of him today where he was his girlfriend was really upset. She was like storming out of like there it is. And there's the $7 donos. Thank you, Meow Group. Appreciate you, big guy. Appreciate you, Mr. Meow. Let's go.
Meow
Goat.
Pro Viper sent $7. Meow.
Meow. Yo, meow to you too. Yeah, he was in this video and his girlfriend was like upset. She's like, I just opened up Twitter and I saw a video of you kissing these 2 other girls. And he's just so, you can tell he's just so over it. And he just goes, well, I love you. So that's it. That's all. Like, we're not discussing this anymore, but I love you. So you can leave, but I love you. And she's like, what, like leave the club? He's like, no, like leave the relationship. And she's like, well, I'm not going to leave the relationship. I just don't want you making out with these like other women. And he's just like, well, I love you. And it's exactly the same energy, dude. Hassan Piker is giving the exact same energy. Oh my goodness.
It's actually concerning to people, not trying to pass another tax loophole for a private prison company or a defense contractor like we're seeing too much of these days. And so I think that's really the message there is we need to get that sort of influence out of our politics because it is just completely steering us in the wrong direction on so many different issues, whether it's genocide in Gaza or the crushing housing market right now. Those things are all related to the money and politics that we see.
So you have a tweet about your opponent, Ben McAdams, here that I'm going to pull up and read real quick.
What watch is that? Hey, hold up. What watch is that?
Won't acknowledge.
Hey, let me check that timepiece though.
So
let me check that timepiece
about
though.
Your opponent, Ben McAdams, here that
I like his tie actually. This beehive tie, I'm a big fan. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna pull up and
he's got a rollie on. No, what is that? No, you see it. It could be an automatic movement because the watch is a little bit thicker.
And
is that the PR? That's not a PRX. That's not a PRX. Let me see. Oh, hold on. Gold band PRX. Because it is it? Did I missee it? Did I missee the band? I'm not that good at watching.
Crushing housing market right now. Those
I'm not that good at
watching.
Money
and politics that we see.
So, let's see. Hold on.
You have a tweet about your opponent,
Ben put his hand up
here that I'm going to pull up.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Yo! What's going on, this Brokey fan? Good to see you, big guy. I love you. I love you. Imagine though, the PRX is a good watch. But the PRX is also it's not as fat as the watch, or maybe it is. Hold on.
Bet he ruined it with the pants though, XD.
Yeah, dude, bro, literally. I can't wait. I haven't seen the pants yet. Okay, maybe that is the PRX. What do you guys think? Maybe it is.
And
in which case,
real quick, you say Ben McAdams won't acknowledge the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Instead, he believes the atrocities have ended. Palestinians are still dying while hawkish politicians like Ben, who are funded by defense contractors, oil executives, and conservative pro-Israel donors, vote to continue America's broken foreign policy. The people of Gaza have been the target of a genocide. They still are, and they will continue to be our leaders. If our leaders do not take immediate action to stop it.
We're probably going to hear a lot in this stream about tweets. Now, you know why that is? Well, let's take a look. How much does what's his name, Nate Blouin tweet? This is crazy. I wonder if I can actually find it. There was a breakdown. There's a breakdown that I saw a while back. of how much they tweet, like how much each congressman tweets. He tweets more than any other congressman. There's a guy named Trevor Lee, Patriot, who also tweets a lot, although he's based. Trevor Lee, in like, I don't know how many years, has like, what's his name? Nate Blouin exceeds what he has done in half the amount of time. He tweets, I think we're not going to be able to find it just because there's so many articles about, you know, his old tweets being so negative. Nate Blouin tweets more than I think any other legislator right now in the state. It's crazy. This guy is like, and that's coming from me. This guy is chronically online, and that's coming from me. That's coming from a niche internet micro celebrity.
Care about the people of Gaza, the people of Palestine. How does America's relationship impact your potential constituents?
I mean, that's the multi-billion-dollar question. Like, why should we care about this, right? And we should, because...
Yo, Jordan brought up a good point. He says, I wonder if he's going to bring up how Nate didn't win at convention. Yep.
It is, first of all, it's just death and destruction. It's just for no good reason beyond the conquests of Israel and of America, but it's also directly impacting our ability to pay for Medicare for all.
By the way, it wasn't close. It was not close. Where is this? Let's look up the results. I've got them pulled up here. Here it is. Here were the results. Why do they have anything about Andrew Yang? Or maybe that's not Andrew Yang. Maybe that's a different Yang. Anyway. Let's see here. Did they not say what the vote share was? These are the priorities. Redistricting is 88%. Water/Salt Lake 85%. Election reform 80%. Housing 79%. The least important issues for Democrats in the state of Utah. This is actually insane. You want to know what the least important issues for Democrats in the state of Utah were? The least important issues for Democrats in the state of Utah were from, what we'll do the top or the lowest 5. Civic education, number 5. Number 4, term limits. Number 3, public lands. Number 4, data and security. And least important of all, justice/law. That's crazy. Campaign finance, separation of powers, election reform, redistricting, air quality, social services, AI/tech, all of those were more important. Civic education was more important than justice and law. That is a crazy poll. Can we see what the actual results were? Can I actually, can we actually like see what the results were? The results, I mean. No, this is just the Salt Lake County party. Okay, where is, okay, Fox 13 probably reported on it well. Liban Mohammed won. Yeah, here it is. This is the breakdown we want. There's 700 ballots, 2 abstentions. Round 1, Liban Mohammed was second place. Ben McAdams, first place with 40% of the vote share. Liban Mohammed, 22%, was second place. Oh, no, it's not ordered. My bad. Nate Blouin was second place, 23% of the vote. But check this out. Check out as the rounds go on. Ready? The first person to be eliminated is Ava Lopez, and the reason she was eliminated is because it came out that she is a, what's a nice way of putting it? She is a sex fiend. Ava Lopez Chavez was reported to have sexually harassed like 4 different women. Including one woman to whom she said, the only reason I still have sex with men is because a woman hasn't shown me what I want yet. Very crazy stuff happening in the Democratic world in the state of Utah. Very, very crazy stuff. Anyway, so she drops out round 1, go to the second round, and who is it that drops? after the second round, because Liban Mohammed, again, now a little closer. He gained 7 votes. Nate Blouin still in second place, but Liban Mohammed right there with him. Now you get to the third round, Liban overtakes Nate, 25% of the vote share. Fourth round, Liban begins really overtaking Nate as Michael Farrell drops out. Farrell, I don't know how you say his name. And then he's eliminated, and it's down to just Liban Mohammed and Begnick Adams. And Liban Mohammed wins. So, yeah. Not progressive enough, Nate. I don't know what to tell you, big guy. Sorry, Nate. You're just too cis white. You're just too cis and white. You know, Nate, to his credit, Nate Blouin married. Dude, my search results are just going to be about him now. Nate Blouin married. He is married. I don't know if there will be a photo of his wife. Dude, Nate with the beard? What the? Nate Blouin is married. I guess there's no photo of him with his wife, but he is married. So W's. But unfortunately, that just doesn't poll very well with Democrats. Being married, and much less being married to somebody of the opposite sex, it just, you know, it's out of touch. It's out of touch. So he unfortunately lost to the child of Somali immigrants, Liban Mohammed.
To pay for housing support for folks, for our schools. You know, Utah in particular is like 48th or 49th in the country as far as per capita funding for students. We should be spending that money here at home. We should be rebuilding our ability to do diplomacy and humanitarian aid and welcome people back in. But
you don't feel patriotic when those dollars are going to Israel instead of students here?
It's wild. So the America First language is so interesting. Like I've never been someone who would say America First, like in that real patriotic way. But having conversations with folks who would consider themselves pro-Palestine, that's what they are saying. You know, let's
is this being skin suited? What's going on? Nate Blouin says America first? What?
Deal with our country first rather than going into another country that is being just demolished.
Hey Nate, here's a question. Why would you never ever consider yourself somebody who like says or wants to put America first? Why would you not want to say America first? Why would you not want to put America and Americans first? What is going on?
By our bombs and focus on what we can do here. And so that sort of, you know, patriotism that I am seeing is actually really exciting. I think it's the right sort of America first.
Democrats finally realize that, you know, being pro-America is actually like really cool and not evil.
Let me run this by you. Okay. So, America wastes $100 billion, destroys, you know, tens of billions of dollars.
See, this is an authentic question. Here we go.
To advance Israel's goals of continuing along with the greater Israeli project.
Guy, you look like you're in the room with him. I do, don't I? Don't I look like I'm just here chatting with my two buddies? If I make myself bigger too, it's gonna look even more like I'm with them because I'm like closer. It's like staggered.
Shooting up schools, blowing up schools, and then the world is embroiled in an energy crisis.
Yeah, I
Gas
agree.
is now more expensive for Americans, but at the same time,
just me mogging them real fast.
Israel is now uncontested in the region.
Right?
Doesn't that feel good?
It doesn't feel good to me.
Okay.
And I don't think it feels good to so many people here in our country and certainly in that region as well. And I mean, I filled up my beat up old Subaru the other day with a $60 tank of gas, and it certainly hits us all. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You didn't think to yourself in that moment, we're doing this for a good reason?
No,
okay.
I did not.
All right. Well, it seems like you're kind of unpatriotic, but let's move on. So, you're explicitly supporting the Block the Bombs Act.
Yeah.
Why don't you like bombs?
I remember getting, well, I don't remember. I have pictures of myself I can prove. I was getting carted around to pro-peace protests back in, you know, the early 1990s. I grew up in New Hampshire. My parents carted me around to these sort of things.
What about bulldozers?
It's to stop sending weapons to Israel. I'm down with that. See, here's the thing. It's like, you know, they're talking about like ending the war in Iran. It's like, hey, I mean, you guys want to do it for cringe reasons, But on some based stuff, I'm down.
You know, destroy Palestinian homes.
Stop it. I mean, yeah, that stuff is just like, let's whatever we got to do, you know, whether it's sanctions, whether it's just finally taking accountability for what we have done. I think it's critical that we address those things.
Okay. How do you plan on ending America's violence abroad? And what do you plan to do with the money that we're not spending on bombs?
Yeah. So how much are we spending? What's the number like daily? Do you know?
I mean,
it was like $1 billion in Iran.
It was $1 billion in the most conservative estimate in Iran alone, with all of the, you know, the naval assets moving around. That's before we.
I thought it was $2 billion a day.
How many
is what we're using
of those assets have been blown up in the region? I believe it's more than 2.
JR Nosif says, thoughts on the China meet and greet? Dude, it was so funny. I haven't seen it. Like, I haven't looked over all of it. But I thought it was so funny watching the video. You've got all the kids. Dude, Xi Jinping is kid-mogging. He's child-mogging Donald Trump. When was the last time you had a foreign national, like a foreign dignitary, come to your nation or to any nation, and you greet him with, like, a bunch of your kids? And I bet Xi Jinping is saying, like, look at all these kids. These are all obviously Chinese kids. Can you say the same, Mr. Donald Trump? Can you say the same? You know what we really got to do? We got to ask Asian Mormon. He was there. Asian Mormon was there at the Xi Jinping meetup. We got to ask him what he thinks about this. No, but dude, it was so funny seeing Trump. Like, they stop for a second, and then Trump like puts his hand on Xi's back and like leads him forward. He's like, this way, don't worry. It's as if he's running the whole thing. It's so funny. He just is so funny. Love him or hate him, he's a funny guy. Donald Trump is he's pretty keck. You got to admit it. You got to hand it to him.
$1 billion a day. We're now on day 76, I believe.
Yeah.
So
talking about like $1 trillion a year or something.
I mean, we have $1 trillion in expenditure. Donald Trump is actually
Asian Mormon was one of the kids. Real.
Wanted to increase that spending by 50% to $1.5 trillion
a year. Weska's in the chat says, calling it a meetup like Xi Jinping is a streamer. Hey, look, that's my bad. I'm in streamer mode. I'm in streamer brain right now. My apologies. They did meet up. I mean, what are you going to sue me? Sue me. Rendezvous, a diplomatic meeting. They met up, bro. Chill.
There have actually been people like Robert Kagan,
that's funny.
And other analysts that are, you know, neocons themselves that have said, well, this is a waste.
Yeah.
And that we're not
how conservative of them.
Yeah. I mean, there is a conservative anti-war tradition. AmCon magazine is like one of the primary advocates for a more peaceful direction, which is interesting.
True.
Thomas Massey and some of those other folks, they get it.
So
true.
Let me ask you this though.
All facts.
Do you believe that the U.S. should be providing Israel with defensive weapons?
No. I think we should, at this point, with the lack of accountability, the lack of any willingness to take ownership over what's happened over there, I don't think we should be supporting that with any sort of aid at this point. And I think defensive aid, you know, allows them to kind of sit on their laurels and you know, wait for things to happen, and that's its own form of violence when you look at it that way. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got a lot of cameras there.
I know. He's kind of like freaked out. Like, you got a lot of cameras. Like, what's going on, man?
That's its own form of violence when you look at it that way. Yeah.
Defense is the new form of violence, actually.
Oh yeah. You got a lot of cameras there. I know. How many do we got? 3 cameras? Oh, there you go. Okay. I saw someone mentioning my name earlier, whether I was Quebecois, and that is the part of my heritage comes from the French Canadian lineage there.
And there we have it. He's French and Canadian. Could it get worse? Nate Blouin, French and Canadian. Could it get any worse?
Okay.
Oh, nice. We got some snacks.
We brought you some snacks as well.
What is this?
Nice.
What is this, kindergarten?
Banana on a Cliff Bar.
Yeah, we've heard that those are your favorite.
Yeah, you guys do a good job of doing your research.
Favorite things to consume.
My campaign team is dying right now.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me also fix
They got him a banana and a Cliff Bar.
this real quick. Sorry, this is a little bit unprofessional, but favorite things.
Dude.
It's Quebecois, and that is the.
Watch this. I'm
part
gonna
of
make
my
myself
heritage
invisible.
comes
Watch
from,
this, bro.
the French Canadian lineage there.
Okay.
Oh, nice. We got some snacks.
We brought you some snacks as well.
Nice. Thank you. I got a banana and a Cliff Bar.
Yeah, we've heard that those are your favorite.
Yeah, you guys do a good job of doing your research.
Favorite things to consume.
Dude, this is like when you get socks for Christmas and you're opening it and you just have to like matter of fact say what the present is. Like, oh, you got me some Nike socks. Oh, you got me some Nike Elite socks. This is it's a picture book with a bunch of funny quotes. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Oh man. Thanks, Mom. Oh, a t-shirt? A goofy t-shirt that I'll never wear in my life? Oh, you got me this? Whoa. Thanks, Mom.
Campaign team.
That's a joke. I love Mom's gifts. As long as it's coming from Mom. You know, if it's from Hassan Piker, it's not as cool. If it's from your mom, it's awesome.
I'm dying right now.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me also fix this real quick. Sorry, this is a little bit unprofessional, but
Cliff Bar for scale, yeah. How many Cliff Bars tall is Nate Blouin?
Unfortunate reality of doing a one-stop shop, one-man show.
This is so funny,
Sometimes
man.
you have to deal with these technical problems.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not me.
As they come along.
Bro's like one-man show. You literally, who handed you the Cliff Bar and the banana? Did they come out of the sky? Did you summon them? Like, where did they come from? What do you mean a one-man show? You had somebody letting him in. You had somebody giving him the Cliff Bar and the banana. You just don't have anybody operating the stream with you, dude. Come on.
But
only been doing this 10 years for 10 hours a day.
All right, so we've talked about your perspective. Utah's SB 186 prohibits state contracts to companies that boycott Israel.
Yep.
In
your state.
Wait, for real?
SB 97 builds on this bill.
Hold on, that's actually crazy. Hold on. I actually wasn't aware. Give me a sec. SB 186, anti-boycott Israel amendments, Utah legislature. Oh, it hasn't been adopted. Am I tweaking? No, this is the 2021 general session. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, it was signed into law in 2021. Prohibits state entities from entering into contracts with companies that engage in boycotts of Israel. Brother. That's crazy. Boycott action means refusing to deal, terminating business activities, or eliminating commercial relations. Boycott of the state of Israel means engaging in a boycott action targeting the state of Israel and companies or individuals doing business in or with the state of Israel, or companies authorized by, licensed by, or organized under the laws of the state of Israel to do business. Company means corporation, partnership, limited liability company, or similar entity. Public entity means the state or a political subdivision of the state, including each department, division, office, board, commission, council, authority, or institution of the state. I mean, realistically, how many times would that be relevant? I don't think it'd be relevant in many cases, but still, yeah, what is going on with that? That's crazy. I didn't know about that. That is very interesting. Part 2, prohibition on contracting. Except as provided in subsection 2, a public entity may not enter into a contract with a company to acquire or dispose of a good or service, including supplies, information, technology, or construction services, unless the contract includes a written certification that the company is not currently engaged in a boycott of the state of Israel, and that the company agrees not to engage in a boycott of the state of Israel for the duration of the contract. That is insane, dude. It does not apply to a contract with a total value less of $100,000 or a company or a contract with a company that has fewer than 10 full-time employees. But still, that's insane. Yeah, I'm not at all a fan of that piece of legislation. Can you imagine it's like the state's about to enter into a contract with somebody and they require a written certification that the company is not doing anything to boycott Israel and does not do business with businesses that do anything to boycott Israel. That's crazy.
So companies that
That's
boycott
nuts.
the fossil fuel, weapons, or mining industries.
Yep.
We've often seen this play itself out on the federal level as well, where Project Esther has featured. This was a part of Project 2025. It was utilization of the anti-Semitism, like the cynical weaponization of anti-Semitism, to silence any sort of dissent in American politics. That then goes far beyond. Once the
this is during
anti-boycott bill is set, then they can use it to extend that prohibition to people who want to boycott fossil fuel weapons or mining industries. In your opinion, why does Utah have these weird bills specifically protecting both Israel?
We got all the worst parts of Project 2025 without any of the good.
Utah is one of those weird test states. It's like Tennessee, sometimes Texas, where like.
Kai, what's your take on gun control? I'm anti-gun control generally, broadly.
Alec, I mean, they bring bills to these Republicans and they run them in Utah and see if they can get them to pass there. And it's pretty nonsensical, and I don't think there's a whole lot of thought given to it. I don't think the people that are running these bills actually kind of understand what they are doing or the message they are sending. It was really interesting. I put forward a bill at the end of this past legislative session to repeal SB 186, which passed before I was in the state Senate. So basically getting rid of Utah's anti-BDS law. And I had a Republican lobbyist actually come up to me on the last day of session and basically said, like, where did that come from? And thank you for putting that forward, because he had to sign some of those contracts that had that language in them, which he saw as a violation of, which he and I as well saw as a violation of free speech. And I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So you don't think
it's also crazy favoritism? Like, that's nuts.
It's America first to have to sign a
loyalty. Liberty Santana says, as a Canadian, I can confirm it cannot get any worse. So true.
So to the state of Israel, to say that you will never disparage the good name of the state of Israel to work with the state of Utah.
No, I do not think that is America first. I think that is un-American.
We've come a long way in shaping language, in shaping rhetoric, and the movement of the Overton window has been so incredible. We've gotten to the point where Democrats have to talk like nationalists. And maybe this is mostly their fault, because they have been pushing so hard against America at every turn. But to hear Democrats saying this is not America first is crazy. Now, we have very different perceptions of what is good and what is, putting America first. But still, the fact that they are changing their rhetoric to speak that way is pretty nuts.
And I think, during his time in Congress, I know my opponent, Ben McAdams, had some statements about some of those BDS laws and has been supportive of that sort of thing in the past.
What do you have to say to the Republicans that claim to uphold the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, oftentimes to say, my Second Amendment's there to protect the First,
right?
But then are willing servants when it comes to corporate interests and the interests of foreign lobbies like this?
I mean, when I hear people talk about the Second Amendment as if we're going to rise up against our government, I mean, it's wild to see all of the money that we just talked about being spent on weapons and the surveillance being done. And I think it's a misunderstanding of what that was supposed to be back in 1776 or 250 years ago, when all those things were put into being. And so it's shocking that these people don't have, I think, a through line on these pieces of policy. And I've watched people get beat up by cops just in recent days here in Utah, and for exercising their First Amendment rights. And it's frustrating.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know. The left seems to exercise the First Amendment right with bike locks in their hands, their faces covered, and a Molotov cocktail in the other. I don't know if I'm, I love the First Amendment. I'm a free speech absolutist. But let's not pretend like all of the protests here in Utah have been a perfectly protected speech. I think sometimes it verges a little bit on property destruction and general violence.
We deserve it.
But to the extent that anybody's being abused by police officers for just using their First Amendment right, I'm against that. Let me be clear.
What are we
getting beat up by cops for opposing
an ICE facility in that case,
or an ICE facility?
Yeah, it was.
Well, it's nice now.
No, that's right.
What about? Let me present.
What
that
is the
catch?
national?
Yeah. So what if Yeah. Like
They hate nice people. You hear the way he grunts? He's like, ugh, nice? Ugh. I've been foiled. Now everyone will know that I'm mean. Look, hear that
or
sound.
an ice facility.
Yeah, that was
nice.
It was,
Okay, well, it's nice now.
no,
What
oh,
about-
that's right.
What about let me present.
what
that
is
to
the
you.
N national?
Yeah. So what if like the national
Only a meanie would react that way. Let's all be honest. Only a
Socialist
meanie would
Party?
react that way.
they slapped on national in front of it. Does that change your perspective at all now that you have to call it nice instead of ice?
I think I like it even less now.
Okay.
If that's possible.
See what I mean? Dude, literally, he hates it because it's nice. He's admitting it. He's saying the quiet part out loud. He hates niceness.
Okay, so you hate nice.
I
Okay.
hate nice.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
That's fair to say.
Why don't
And he
you care
chuckles.
about the bottom line
And he chuckles.
of polluting these like climate change contributing polluting industries like fossil fuels or industries that specifically are designed around finding new ways to kill children?
Yeah, I mean, Utah has been, again, ground zero for like some of these bills. This year, a bill was passed that basically disallows state regulators from taking a single step beyond what the federal government allows them to do as far as environmental regulations. And I mean, yeah, it's just a giveaway to, you've probably heard about this data center issue.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, it's paved the way for that. Actually, I saw Walter Masterson yesterday, and he says hi.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's
Yeah,
in-
Walter's
he
the
was
man.
in Utah.
So, Kevin O'Leary.
Mr. Wonderful.
Another Canadian.
Canadian.
By the way.
Canadian, yes.
Not even American.
Not even a
I'm in their heads. It's because they heard me. It's because I'm in the room with them and they heard me.
billionaire, by
Yeah.
the way.
Oh,
Not
I
yet.
didn't know that.
He's only about 400 million.
So Kevin
Chump change. Get the freak out of here, Kevin O'Leary. Come back when you have $1 billion to
O'Leary
spend
was
in
able
Utah
to
for your data
bring
center.
together $15 billion worth of investment
So far.
to build this AI center, this facility, this behemoth of a facility that is unbelievably large.
Yep.
I believe the choice was not up to the good people of Utah, but 3 individuals that ended up saying yes to building this facility. Why do you hate data and AI?
I love the way these questions are framed. And
40,000 acres.
40,000 acres.
No one's living there. Isn't it much better to make this behemoth instead
Anything
that
than-
will pollute the water supply?
Yeah, it's 40,000 acres, potentially 9 gigawatts of new natural gas-fired energy generation, which would be the largest natural gas plant in the United States, one of the largest in the world. And I would just push back on that a tiny bit because what kind of happened, I think, was the county commissioners, they should have voted no, right? Like that's clear to me. But they were put in that spot by state leadership who basically said, you guys get to make the decision on this. You either vote yes and you get a seat at the table, or you vote no and we'll just cut you out and do all this stuff, all these incentives, and your county will have 0 voice in this. And so
Don't you feel like that's how democracy should be run?
right,
Where
yeah.
wealthy
Oh, man.
corporate benefactors
Just
buy
shove it.
politicians and then enforce their will upon the public?
I do not think that is how democracy should
interesting.
operate. I am sorry to
a
disagree
very
with you on that
It's a
one.
very
but,
communist perspective. A very anti what the people of Utah clearly want.
I want to see what it is that they actually approved. There was a huge protest. I don't know if you guys saw this. There was big protest about the data center. I want to see if I can pull that up too. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to watch. Because the protest at the data center was pretty nuts. The 3 county commissioners did vote yes. Where is this? I'm gonna look up Box Elder Data Center. I wonder if it'll show it in this video.
Which is a mass surveillance.
All right, hold up.
Against the Stratus Data Center project approved in Box Elder County and hand deliver an open letter to Governor Spencer Cox.
KSL investigator Daniela Rivera was there and joins us live at the Capitol
Buenas
with the
tardes,
very latest.
Daniela.
Daniela?
Well, that's right. This letter was signed by more than 7,500 people at the time of this morning's rally. It calls on the governor to require an independent water analysis, fiscal review, and a genuine public comment period before Kevin O'Leary's project moves forward.
Mighty Cox and wonderful, listen up.
Utahns making noise.
Our voices have power.
Getting loud.
Governor Cox, the people are here, and we have something to say.
United by a feeling.
Utahns do not feel heard.
Unheard on the issue of a 40,000-acre AI data center backed by Kevin O'Leary, swiftly approved by the governor, Utah's Military Installation Development Authority, and 3 Box Elder County commissioners.
How this fight is not just about Box Elder, it's about the air we breathe, the water we all share, the future that young Utahns will inherit.
Protesters here calling on Utah leaders to slow down the project, get independent studies on its environmental impact, and allow for public comment.
Is it a Pokemon?
Over the last few weeks, our elected officials have shown us in no uncertain terms that their allegiance is to money and power, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it, no matter the cost to Utahns.
Marching those demands in an open letter signed by thousands to Governor Cox's office. Despite multiple visible shadows of people walking around inside, they're told no one is here to take the letter.
The governor doesn't want to hear from his people. They're not opening up the door for...
Dude. I am not pro data center. I think technological expansion needs to be done very slowly. I don't think you can be a conservative and be in favor of rapid technological change and expansion. But when I see a lot of the people that protest this stuff, it makes me want to be a transhumanist. It makes me want to like just go all in and be like, just make us all robots. I don't know. It's the archetype of like the 70-year-old liberal Stonewall activist woman. It is this archetype of liberal progressive activist that I just like. It is so they're also they talk down to you so much. It's a very frustrating archetype.
Finally, a staff member appears and accepts the letter.
There's
a
Mike.
message received.
I've only met him once. Don't read into that. Mike and I have only met once. He actually got mad at me because of my take about Israel. He disagrees with me, but that's really funny how he comes up.
Loud and clear.
You can tell he is just he's at the brink. He's about to crash out.
The spokesperson sent us a statement today saying in part that MIDA operates with integrity and transparency, and the CEO
I wanted to see the Box Elder Data Center County Commissioners. Let's see if we can pull this up. This is it.
After a contentious hour-long meeting, Utah's sprawling hyperscale data center is still on track.
Okay, enough. From now on, I will tell you, you continue. I have law enforcement here who will remove you from the meeting.
The 3-member Box Elder County Commission voted unanimously to approve the massive campus. The commission's vote allows the Utah's Military Installation Development Authority to create the project area, where it can offer an array of incentives to Shark Tank celebrity investor Kevin O'Leary. The vote took place in front of a packed crowd at the Box Elder County Fairgrounds.
For hell's sakes, grow up.
Dude, the low-key boomer go-off moment, W boomer crash out. For hell's sakes, grow up.
Thank you.
After multiple disruptions, commissioners left the stage to finish the meeting virtually. Commissioner Tyler Vincent spoke about the rights of landowners on this issue.
We need to realize and remember that everybody has property rights and that they can do what they would like to do with their property.
Before the vote, attendees rallied in support of ending the project. Around 40,000 acres on 4 different plots of unincorporated Box Elder County have been set aside for the project. The majority of the land is privately owned and is north of the Great Salt Lake. Another 2 parcels are on the west side of the lake. Those sections are owned.
Would they split it up? I actually haven't seen the way that it's. I know how many acres it is. I didn't know it was split
by
up.
the Department of Defense and the Utah Trust Lands Administration. MIDA projects must include military land, and state trust land must be included for the state to receive its share of its tax revenue.
One of the biggest deals, and I'm not exaggerating, in the history of the state of Utah.
That's MIDA's Executive Director, Paul Morris.
The first part is 3 gigawatts of power.
Estimates for the project say that the first phase will require 3 gigawatts of power, nearly matching Utah's average statewide electricity use of 4 gigawatts.
That will grow into 9 gigawatts of power.
State supporters said water from the lake used by the data center will be treated and sent to the drying Great Salt Lake, which will likely hit a new record low after Utah saw historically low snowpack and unseasonably warm spring temperatures this year. MIDA said,
see, he's talking about the weather too. They always do this. Utahns always do this. One of the big things, you know, this is important to get. I don't know how true it would remain. Again, I'm always very dubious of it. But this kind of data center is closed circuit, so they don't need this steady stream of water. They basically have they need a lot of water when they fill it initially, but then the circuit is closed and it's a circulation of that same water. So only when you are flushing it and filling it are you really using a lot of water. That's my understanding of the situation. But you know, people who know more about it can call me out. I need to look more into it. My general hesitancy, though, it's like I'm against this kind of massive expansion, especially these 40,000 acres. Literally, what are we doing, dude? That's larger than Salt Lake. Can we, you know, can we calm that down a little bit? You know, we need to approach these things slowly. The conservative mindset must always be to say, hey, this massive change, let's not go crazy, okay? Let's pump the brakes a little bit on that. That is the minimum requirement to be a conservative, is to say, let's pump the brakes on doing something super crazy, progressive, either technologically, socially, or culturally, or electorally, whatever it may be. Let's pump the brakes and let's truly examine these issues.
Says the data center would use a closed-loop cooling system that continuously reused water. Since Thursday, the
could have just kept playing the video.
Utah Division of Water Rights has received over 400 protests over the water rights applications submitted for the project.
What is crazy is that like the county commissioners are getting like death threats because of this, which sucks.
HB 60, a new policy passed by state lawmakers this year, reins in the Division of Water Rights' ability to consider many of the issues raised in the protests and letters of concern. Under that law, the state engineer is not able to consider concerns handled by other state agencies like air quality, wildlife, and recreation. Commissioners did not hear public comment at the Monday meeting, saying that the public had been given the opportunity to comment at an April 22nd Box Elder County Commission meeting.
They didn't listen to us. They haven't listened to us. It was weak, and it was just really disappointing because these people that are in power, they really don't care what we want.
She's like, I think she's crying. Don't get me wrong, I'm not excited about it either, but it's like, I think she's literally crying. I don't know. And I wanted to read a little bit more about this, about what they had actually voted on. In a rowdy meeting repeatedly interrupted by opponents of the project, commissioners unanimously approved 2 resolutions required before the proposal, called the Stratos Project Area, can go forward. Tyler Vincent, the chairman of the commission, touted what he says are the jobs and economic development the project would create, as well as the facility's role in safeguarding national security. Lee Perry, another commissioner, said commissioners heavily researched the matter and relied on community feedback ahead of the votes, which he added were tough decisions. In a nod to the fears about potential environment impact, he said Monday's yes votes don't end county involvement and that the town hall meetings are in the works to better inform the public about the plans. The action is not the end of the process, it's the beginning, he said in a press conference about the formal vote. At every step, the project will be subject to continued oversight, permitting, and regulatory review. As a commission, we will ensure that development is done responsibly and in a manner that protects the best interests of Box Elder County and its residents. The plans put forward by Kevin O'Leary, a celebrity businessman, and O'Leary Digital have spurred sharp backlash from opponents who worry the facility would sap water resources in the area, harming the Great Salt Lake. Now, my understanding is that the water is going to be taken specifically from the water shares already allocated to the private farmers that own some of the land. Some of it is federally owned. It's kind of a difficult thing to decipher the different aspects of it. Anyway, we'll keep reading. Okay, the weird thing is Kevin O'Leary claimed that all of the protesters were from outside of Utah, that they were driven in on buses. That's not true. These were Utahns. These were like gun-toting patriot Utahns. Shout out Bryson Gray. These were gun-toting patriots. These were libs. These were high school students, the elderly. It's everybody, and they were Utahns. So him saying that was really sus. He is really like a supervillain, dude. He was perfectly cast in Marty Supreme. Let's see here. It has an estimated price tag of $1 billion. None of that can come from taxes. Let's be clear. Great feature on the Benny and Basil show. Thank you, Papa Clutch. Good to see you in the chat. Free Kick Maestro, good to see you as well. Yo. Also, be sure to subscribe on Kick if you're not yet subscribed. And super chat, powerchat.live/kaiclips. Show some love. What's up? Dude, we got James Hart too in the chat. Yeah, you know, the thing with the I was gonna say the Benny and Basil show, I thought that was like my best podcast I've done. Low key, Hiker Genuinely, I think that was the best podcast I've done.
Facility.
Right.
It's designed in their backyard.
I mean, we're talking about a 7,500 person ICE facility, a new, one of these ICE detention centers in Salt Lake City, and then 50 miles up the street, this gigantic data center. And I'm like, we need to be looking at these together, because that data center, we already have an NSA data center in Utah that they use to probably track all of our communications. And
yeah, true.
Now we'd have this one and
facility.
Based.
I'll have to get used to that, just like Department of War.
Yeah.
So it's shocking what we're seeing here. And you had to see Kevin O'Leary come in and just, call the people of Utah idiots, to say we were all bussed in. That was Walter's point yesterday. It was like, he's coming in from Florida.
I'm in their heads.
Or from New York.
From
and then
Canada by way of New York, too.
Yeah.
Canadians.
He's Canadian.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's not forget,
okay.
Kevin O'Leary is a Canadian.
Oh no, but Walter came in, and that was the point he was making. Is like, let's put this in Kevin's backyard in Florida at his nice home down there. And I agree with him. Let's
go,
do it
Drippy some
else.
drip. Good to see you there.
Okay.
Actually, we shouldn't. I want to clarify that. Let's take a pause.
Theophilus Bartholomew says, "Kai, are there any right-wing movies that no one realizes are right-wing?" Oh. Dude. Weska says we need the ICE detention facility. Yes, we do. Let me look over the movies I've seen, because I'm sure I could come up with one. Let me pull up my Letterboxd. Right-wing movies that nobody realizes are right-wing. What's my, where can I see all my movies? The Killer with Michael Fassbender. It's kind of Kino. It's, that's implicitly right wing. It's not right wing, but I really like Bullet Train. Bullet Train was really awesome. It's very Kai coded. That nobody realizes are right wing. I'd have to think about that. Yeah, I have to keep thinking about that. I don't know. Yo, Asian Mormon says Blood Diamonds and The Departed. I haven't seen either. Who's in Blood Diamonds?
Asian Mormon sent $7 Blood Diamonds and The Departed.
Who is in Blood Diamonds? The Departed is quite possible. I want to watch. Oh, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's quite possible. I really wanted to watch, what was it called? Falling Down is obviously right-wing. Dude, what do you mean nobody knows is right-wing? Falling Down is the most right-wing movie ever, dude. It's about a guy who's like fed up with the stupidness of society. It's literally like a gamer movie. He's literally the disgruntled gamer. It's unironically like catharsis for right-wing people. How are you gonna say that falling down, nobody knows that that's right-wing? That's so see, this is the issue, is I know that these movies are obviously right-wing. Oh, it's the one where he's the Rhodesian? Okay, real. Yeah. Yo, Kai, do you know some libertarians in Utah? I'm sure. Yeah, there's a bunch. A lot of Republicans are libertarian. But hey, thank you for the kind comment about my positivity. No, dude, Falling Down is the most obviously right-wing movie. I mean, come on, like literally, this scene.
Been a fan of a moratorium. Let's actually like.
This is kind of the obvious one. Me too. Hey, Nate Blouin, I'm a fan of a moratorium as well, just about a different thing. This clip when he's in the restaurant.
Yes, sir. Hi, I'd like some breakfast. We stopped serving breakfast. I know you stopped serving breakfast, Rick. Sheila told me you stopped serving breakfast. Why am I calling you by your first names? I don't even know who you are. I still call my boss Mister. I worked for him for 7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger, and I'm calling you Rick and Sheila like we're in some kind of AA meeting. I don't want to be your buddy, Rick. I just want a little breakfast.
Well, you can call me Miss Folsom if you want to.
Sheila. Yeah, well. No. Calm down. Just calm down.
And then he shoots a gun.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm really sorry. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm really sorry too.
Like it's the most implicitly, obviously right-wing movie because it's just him crashing out about how stupid everybody is and like how the bureaucracy of his life doesn't make any sense. You literally have this scene where like some Hispanic teenagers try to rob him and he crashes out. It's like, this is the most obviously right-wing movie you're talking. It's literally about him trying, like he wants to be with his daughter because he divorced his wife. Like what? It's so obvious.
Trespassing.
Loitering too, man.
That's right, you're loitering too. I didn't see any
A great
signs.
movie, don't get me wrong. Amazing movie.
What you call that?
But like...
Fair enough. You couldn't let a man sit here for 5 minutes and take a rest on your... I'll get it for you, all right? You can have my briefcase. Here, you want my briefcase? Here's my briefcase! Briefcase, huh? Wait a minute, wait! Here! Yeah, here! Hey, where you going, huh? Where you going? You forgot the briefcase! You forgot the briefcase!
Like, this is just every man thinks about this when he's in the shower. Obviously, this is a right-wing movie. I mean, come on. This is not even like, that's not even a question. What else is the chat saying? Let's see. Same with the new Superman. Real. Kai, do you know about Governor Wes Moore? What about him? Oh, that nobody talks about being right-wing? Yeah, that's a good point. Nobody talks about it being right-wing. You're right about that. Gran Torino. Yeah. Okay, well, let me look back at the chat. Was the chat that people don't talk about, or was the chat that people don't know? What was the, Kai, are there any right-wing movies that no one realizes? Yeah, it's nobody realizes. People realize that. Same thing with Gran Torino. Dude, Gran Torino has an entire section where, he says, like, what's his name? Clint Eastwood says every slur in the book in Gran Torino. Of course this is a right-wing movie. I mean, come on, Haitian Mormon. This is Gran Torino, underrated and infrequently cited, but absolutely. I mean, come on, absolutely a right-wing movie. It's not even close. When is Kai going to get a feature on Alexandria? Good question. Good question, dude. I don't know how the optics of that would be, but you know, we'll see. Princess Bride. That's a good take. Princess Bride. That's a good take. Let's see. Movies. I'm just gonna look on movies. I need to look at Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe are they gonna have a better list there? Yeah, Princess Bride. That's a better take. I also haven't seen a lot of these, so. The Batman. The Batman's a right-wing movie. The Batman's a right-wing movie. Let's see. I gotta see the, do they just have a big list of movies? Is that a thing that they have? Can I just look over a list of like popular movies? Sort by most popular, and we'll do not just 2026. Can I do? I'm gonna do certified fresh and verified hot. That sounds sus. But I don't want. Okay, can we just do like in general? Not just in the last year. Yeah, see, I don't know these movies. I got no clue. I think these are all 2026 movies, and I have not seen any of them. Yeah, I'm looking at this. It's like, I don't know any of these movies. What are you guys saying in chat? Every movie I like is secretly right-wing because I said so. True. Don't Look Up? Really? Yo! Glooperglat. Glooperglat, A Knight's Tale? I don't know if I've seen A Knight's Tale.
Asian Mormon sent $7
A Knight's Tale. Oh, with, what's his name? Yeah, with Heath Ledger. Real? Okay, see now we're getting somewhere. I'm just gonna look up movies. I'm gonna look up movies of the 2000s. 2000s top 100 movies. Let's look. Let's look, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you guys look with me. That way it's more entertaining for you all. Okay, Gladiator, duh. The Departed, that was said. Blood Diamond, there you go. No Country for Old Men, that's implicitly right wing, of course. There Will Be Blood. I mean, all of these are kind of obviously right wing. Wall-E, Inglourious Bastards actually isn't. It's actually not implicitly right wing. Yeah, there's Gran Torino. Let's go. The Assassination of Jesse James by coward Robert Ford. I gotta watch that. That's a Brad Pitt movie that I have not seen. Gangs of New York, classic. Minority Report, that's a good one. That's a good one. That might be. Maybe we can throw that in there. It's kind of Reddit, but that's a good film. The 310 to Yuma. Yeah, of course. That's pretty good. We got a good list there. I don't know if you guys have any other ones. I haven't seen a lot of these movies. I gotta actually watch them. You guys are kind of putting me on. Asian Mormon is putting me on like crazy. Putting me on for real. I respect that. Spider-Man 2, real. Knight's Tale is awesome, man. If the left can make characters gay because they said so, why can't I say they're actually straight? You can. You should be doing that. You should be doing that. That's like when people think in Batman, in The Batman with Robert Pattinson, they think that Selena Kyle is a good guy. She's not. She's one of the villains. She sexually assaults Batman. Kenny Yates recommends Antichrist with Willem Dafoe. I'll have to watch that. I like Willem. All right, let's dive back in. Whoa! Glooperglat. Holy Glooperglat. Blood Diamond and The Departed. Is that the same super chat or? Yeah, it's the same super chat.
Asian Mormon sent $7.
Thank you nonetheless.
Blood Diamonds and The Departed.
Thank you nonetheless. We appreciate you once again. I mean, you got double the bang for your buck there. All right, let's keep listening.
Figure out what the right path forward here is before we just crush a bunch of land and use a bunch of workers to kill jobs for other workers like this is going to do.
Okay.
Use workers to kill jobs for other workers. Wow, that almost sounds like immigration. That almost sounds like the thing that you're totally in favor of. That almost sounds like having a mass influx of low-wage laborers who are displacing other people who could otherwise argue and barter and bargain for a higher wage. Very interesting premise that you've mentioned there, Nate Blouin. I wonder if you could extend that to the issue of immigration.
Let's get a little contentious now. I'm gonna stop being sarcastic. Okay. So in January 2024, you shared an email written to you by a constituent that recognized Israel's violent actions while also maintaining the importance of a strong U.S.-Israeli relationship and a two-state solution. You stated that it summed up your own thoughts better than you.
Uh-oh, trouble in paradise. The stream goes down. Nate Blouin supposedly said something in support of Israel, and the stream goes down. Uh-oh, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Sussy stuff happening. They're watching. Dude, they are. They are watching. What the freak? Kai always going off about Gran Torino. Gran Torino's incredible.
Targeting an entire population, basically racial profiling, which is like legal now apparently under, was it the Kavanaugh rule or something?
We skip past that.
Just significantly detracts and kills people in other countries who have no
sarcastic. Okay. State solution. You stated that it summed up your own thoughts better than you yourself could. How have your views changed over the past couple of years of Israel's genocide of Palestinians?
I think, and I'm glad we're like looking back on the past, because it has been eye-opening just to see how horrible things have been there. And certainly it's not a new phenomenon, but to get to work with people who have like directly been involved in advocating for Palestinian liberation and just generally like a more peaceful society. I think it is, it's been just it's been eye-opening to see like how much death and destruction has happened, and to understand our connection as Americans and as a country to the contributions we've made to that destruction, I think is what I would say moved me from like generally supporting like a peaceful solution and not really knowing what that meant to still, I'm not the expert on this, but I certainly believe that the scales have been tipped in Israel's favor for a very, very...
Drippy Some Drip says, by the way, limiting legal immigration is also important. I feel like we are full at the moment. Oh, dude, bruh. Oh, dude. Don't worry. I'm against legal immigration. I'm not in favor of mass legal immigration. I'm not in favor of legal immigration. I think that we should have net zero migration. I think that we should be deporting people, and then maybe you can let in some highly vetted marriage visas and O1 visas, which are not thousands, are hundreds actually. They are actually hundreds, I should specify. But yeah, no, don't worry. I am absolutely right there with you. Like, I think we need to shut down. We need to have an immigration moratorium. So, and by the way, the economic effects of legal migration are similar, and in many cases, they have the same effect as illegal immigration. In fact, legal immigrants often compete for a wider variety of jobs that would be more likely to be suited to a native-born person, native-born American. So that's a huge issue. That's the whole issue with the H-1B visa issue.
Very long time, and that we have been at the forefront of doing that, and that the people of Gaza and of Palestine at large need to have a full seat at the table as any sort of situation moves forward. So like my position as like a candidate is I don't think it's my job to determine what happens over there, but certainly to provide a level playing field for all of those people to come to the table. And if that is a one-state democratic solution, which I think it probably is, but I don't want to impose that on them. I want them to come to that decision, and for us to act as neutral mediators if that's possible, which I think probably many people would say it's probably not possible.
Yeah. So if there was a feasibility for this, would you advocate for a single democratic state with equal rights for all?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Beyond the Middle East, You've also been a vocal critic of the U.S. using economic warfare, like sanctions, to punish countries in the global south, explicitly calling out U.S. posturing towards places like Cuba and Venezuela. Can you explain why broad economic sanctions are fundamentally a form of violence against working class civilians, and why the U.S. needs to abandon this regime change playbook?
Dude, everything is violence to the left until they literally assassinate people. Like, everything is violence to the left, but the moment that you say, hey, could you condemn the murder of the healthcare CEO? Was his name Brian Thompson? They go, well, actually, he was committing systemic social... I mean, you had... Freaking Hassan Piker was talking about, well, actually, Engels talks about such a thing as social violence. And that's why it was actually not that morally wrong to kill Brian Thompson. It's like, this is despicable. Everything is violence to the left, except
I've been to
literally
Cuba.
assassinating people.
It's an incredible place with incredible people, and it was sad to learn, I guess, today that they've like run out of fuel entirely. And
when did Nate Blouin go to Cuba? Can we look into this?
That's on us. I mean, they're 90 miles off the coast of Florida, and we disallow them from receiving so many vital goods. And so it's clearly I don't know what interest that serves. I don't know who that's doing any good for. It's not helping us here in America. It's certainly not helping them. And I think we have done this for far too long. We've gone into these countries and we've tried to overturn their governments, or not even had a good reason, like in Venezuela. I mean, there was no clear objective there. In Iran, there's no clear objective aside from what Netanyahu and Israel have directed us to do. And again, that comes out of our pocketbooks. Here in America, it comes out of our ability to pay for things that my constituents deserve, I think, and it certainly just significantly detracts and kills people in other countries who have no who do not deserve the harms that they are seeing.
So you're in favor of abandoning the old tricks, and you're in favor of abandoning regime change as a primary goal for the American foreign policy apparatus.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've seen conversations around shrinking the military budget. Certainly support that. They should be able to pass an audit.
Theophilus said Kai used his Nauvoo powers to speed them up in real time. True. Oh no, that was Cactus Spartan. My bad. Cactus Spartan. My apologies. Yeah, Mormon time manipulation.
Well, we give them more money.
That's true. You figure this out once you go through the temple. You go through the temple and you learn time manipulation. It's after your first time through the temple, you do the initiatory and you learn time manipulation. It's a thing we can all do. Like, that's how I'm freezing them in time right now.
I would say
these two buddies next to me on either side.
We shouldn't give them more money, but we should certainly be able to account for where that spending goes, and to use it on regime change and to use it on destruction. Let's put a very small fraction of that, because I think it would be much cheaper to preserve peace around the world and democracy, if that's what you're asking for, through diplomacy and humanitarian aid, than it is to do it with actually, can I give you something?
Yeah, of course.
It ties in. Stuff. This is a Utah State Senate coin with one of your favorites on it.
Oh wow!
Peace through strength.
Look at that.
There you go.
Ronald Reagan. We maintain peace through strength.
Yep.
Utah State Senate
official
seal.
Utah State Senate coin there.
Look at that.
That is I think not the foreign policy that I would advocate for.
Okay.
Hey, I've got something for you. It's your least favorite president on a coin. Merry Christmas. That's funny.
So why do you hate America?
Well, yeah, I think the term American exceptionalism is one I've always just had such a hard time with, because it seems like that's what we're talking about here, is just like our ability to go wage war and death in other countries. And to me, it's welcoming people in and trying to return that to the rest of the world through humanitarianism and diplomacy, and I think all the things that actually create a more peaceful world, not.
America is exceptional because we can let a bunch of people in and spend a bunch of money on foreign countries. What are we doing, dude? What are we?
Not the peace.
What are we doing, Nate?
Too many people, but in both parties, right? Tend to believe.
Yeah, liberal interventionism certainly is a real problem in the Democratic Party as well. Speaking of which, Donald Trump went to China. He's still in China. He's doing this historic Beijing summit.
Yep.
And
you just know these people would start crying though if we hadn't intervened in places like Somalia. You imagine when the Somalian warlords were like tearing each other apart, when that country was in shambles, when we went over there to give them food because they were literally starving to death. If we had not done that, Hassan Piker would be whining like a baby. But now he can claim that the reason that Somalia is destitute is because of U.S. intervention. It's such baloney.
He's actually been...
I'm not in favor of foreign intervention, but I just know that if we hadn't intervened, they would have been mad anyway.
Throughout this entire process. He's shown a lot of reverence to Chinese leadership and to China as well. Very different than the way he's communicated about this issue when he's in the United States of America. One of the things that I've seen from the Democratic Party in exchange for that, or in return to that, is of course, or in response to that, has been to increase a hawkish attitude in their communications about China, saying that Donald Trump is going to concede to Xi Jinping's demands and that China should be a foreign adversary. Do you feel like that is the appropriate response, or do you think that the appropriate method here in terms of American foreign policy is to completely redesign and chart a different path forward with China?
Yeah, that's oh man. I think our approach to China as just a pure adversary is harming us, and I would love to see us actually try to find ways to cooperate with them rather than to talk about Taiwan as this wedge in the middle that I think is potentially going to be a really divisive and destructive issue in the coming years. And so we need to, I think, find better ways to work with them as it's probably not ally is not the term I would use, but as a as a trading partner and as someone who.
Yeah, I don't think we should be calling China an ally. I agree.
Is seeing all sorts of investment and advancement in different spaces where the U.S. has fallen behind because we've abandoned innovation and science here in our country. And so, and we should take that back. To be clear, I think that's something I want to see us rebuild is our ability to like actually lead the world in things where we can and where we have over the years and where China has picked up a lot of the slack as our government here, with Trump at the helm, has really punch down on science and punch down on university researchers and universities in general. I mean, the climate on campuses is horrible right now. I talk to so many professors and folks who know people who have gone elsewhere to teach. I know there are people who are getting PhDs and then going overseas. And I would say let's rebalance that system and try to find a more collaborative approach to both to China and
Am I hearing okay? Am I hearing okay? Nate Blouin thinks the climate to teach is really toxic right now. Are we living in two entirely separate realities? If you go to a law school, liberal professors outnumber conservative law school professors 30-1, and that's on the low end. I did a debate tour debating students at the University of Utah, and a kid came up, did a gun motion, and said that we should get Kirked. Charlie Kirk was murdered on a college campus. College Republican students are harassed. They are threatened. Our club is shut down. Our events are shut down or protested. And you think the problem is with left-wing professors, it's just a very toxic climate for them? You have institutional control. You know who decides who faculty is going forward? Current faculty. The professors are the ones who get to decide who the next professors are going to be. If there is a negative atmosphere on college campuses, it's your fault.
Other foreign policy issues.
Okay. Utah, back to your first congressional district, has new boundaries. Includes nearly 9% more non-white constituents than before. At the federal level, how do you plan on protecting all of your constituents from ISIS paramilitary forces who are ripping families apart?
Yeah. 100% on board with abolishing ICE. That is an organization that has become poisonous.
Nice.
Maybe it was poisonous, and we've just seen it more recently, but it's not that old. It's 20 some odd years old. It had the propaganda they have put out, the videos of people marching across tarmacs and chains, and I think I saw one with like a SpongeBob cartoon edited in, and I'm like, what are we doing here? They've lost their social license to operate. They are tearing people apart, and we need to both.
Well, they're tearing people apart. Well, hold on, Nate. I think we have to be specific in our language here. I haven't seen any ICE agent like grab a guy by the legs and grab him by like the arm and tear him apart. I think you mean they are tearing families apart. Is I think what you mean. Unless of course you have like Officer Hulk Hogan over here, Officer Hulk, who has come and grabbed an individual by their limbs, by their ligaments, and just torn them, literally tearing them apart. Maybe I misunderstand. I think you mean families. I don't think you mean individual people.
Rid of the agency and prosecute the folks who have perpetrated those crimes. Whether that's Kristi Noem, the president for sure, is part and parcel to that. The people who shot Alex Reddy and Nicole Good, I think I have that name right. It's sad that we've allowed it to go this far, and I think there's a way to enforce, whether it's immigration or just general public safety, in a way that actually targets people who have done bad things rather than targeting an entire population. Basically racial profiling, which is like legal now apparently under, was it the Kavanaugh rule or something? I've heard it called. So yeah, it's disgusting that's what we've seen happen. And I mean, just for one example, in Utah a couple of weeks ago, we saw a young person. He was about to graduate from the University of Utah. I think the next day, he was headed to, I think, his first day at a new job, and he was about to propose to his girlfriend. And he got pulled over, I think, for a traffic stop or something, yanked out and taken across state lines to a county jail that ICE contracts with. Just for he was brought to the U.S. at 1 year old, so he's been here for 20 years and didn't have documentation, and now he's, I think, still sitting in a jail. Actually, he might have gotten out on bond.
Technically eligible for DACA too.
He should have a clear pathway to citizenship.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Yeah.
So the last question on ICE I would ask is there's tremendous success in this. As far as neighborhood watch initiatives, do you support folks independently tracking ICE to protect their neighbors?
Oh, absolutely.
And engaging in, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you think about like the Black Panthers and those sorts of movements. I mean, absolutely. It's heartening to see people watching out for their neighbors. Those are individual decisions, right? I wouldn't like direct people to go out and do that if they're uncomfortable, but I think for folks that are willing to go out and play that role, I would applaud them.
All right. Let's
hold
talk
on,
about.
Hold on. What? Hold on. What?
I would ask is, there's tremendous success in this. Do you, as far as neighborhood watch initiatives, do you support folks independently tracking ICE to protect their neighbors?
Oh, absolutely.
And engaging in, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you think about like the Black Panthers
and engaging in what?
And those sorts of movements. I mean, absolutely. It's heartening to see people watching it.
Huh? When you think of the who?
Out for their neighbors.
Hold on, when you think of the who?
Oh, absolutely.
And engaging in, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you think about like the Black Panthers and those sorts of movements. I mean, absolutely. It's heartening to see people watching out for their neighbors. Those are individual decisions, right? I wouldn't like direct people to go out and do that if they're uncomfortable, but I think for folks that are willing to go out and play that role, I would applaud them.
All right.
That's nuts. That's nuts, dude. That is actually crazy. They should be more like the Black Panthers, like violent black nationalists. Yeah, they should totally. Yeah. No, I encourage them. I encourage you should absolutely stalk police officers and stop them from doing their job. No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm trying to pull up here. Let's see here. A big part of it, the Weather Underground, those were the bigger ones. These guys were very violent. The Weather Underground was far worse, admittedly. But yeah, kind of nuts that he's making those comparisons. Man. Yeah, I'm just looking up now, you know. Let's see here. Very interesting here from the Black Panthers. In 1967, the founder Huey Newton allegedly killed Oakland police officer John Frey, convicted of voluntary manslaughter. Eventually, it was reversed, the decision. Eldridge Cleaver, the editor of the Black Panthers newspaper, 17-year-old Black Panther member, and treasurer Bobby Hutton were involved in a shootout with police in 1968 that left Hutton dead and 2 police officers wounded. In 1969, Black Panther Party member Alex Rackley was tortured and murdered by Black Panthers who thought he was a police informant. Black Panther bookkeeper Betty Van Patter was found beaten and murdered in 1974. No one was charged with the death, though many believe that the party leadership was responsible. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, yeah, just, you know, there's a couple of details there about the Black Panthers that might have you know, been a little bit more difficult, a little bit more nuanced than is let on. So, anyway, it's a kind of big thing. What's this? Yeah, in May 1969, 3 members of the New Haven chapter tortured and murdered Alex Rackley, a 19-year-old member of the New York chapter, because they suspected him of being a police informant. 3 party officers, Warren Kimbrough, George Sams Jr., and Lonnie McLucas, later admitted in taking part. Sams, who gave the order to shoot Rackley at the murder scene, turned state's evidence and testified that he had received orders personally from Bobby Seale to carry out the execution. Party supporters responded that Sams was himself the informant and an agent provocateur employed by the FBI. The case resulted in the New Haven Black Panther trials of 1970. Kimbrough, Sams, and McLucas were convicted of the murder, but the trials of Seale and Erica Huggins ended with a hung jury, and prosecution chose not to seek another trial. Very interesting. They had a delegation to China. They were greeted by thousands of people waving copies of Mao Zedong's Little Red Book, saying, "We support the Black Panther Party and down with U.S. imperialism." Very interesting. The Chinese delegate arranged for them to meet, or arranged with Huey P. Newton, one of the Black Panther leaders, to have dinner with a North Korean ambassador, a Tanzanian ambassador, and the delegations from North Vietnam, and the Provisional Revolutionary Government of South Vietnam. He thought Huey was under the impression he was going to meet Mao Zedong. Very interesting. Let's see here. In 1974, Huey Newton and 8 other Panthers were arrested and charged with assault on police officers. In 1974, he went into exile to Cuba to avoid prosecution for the murder of Kathleen Smith, an 18-year-old prostitute. Sounds like a real stand-up guy. Hey, Nate, who is it that we should be more like? Hold on, Nate. Hold on. Tell me
you
again.
think about like the Black Panthers and those sorts of movements. I mean, absolutely. It's heartening to see people watching out for their neighbors.
Just like this. Just like this. Absolutely. No, I completely agree. I completely agree. Although Newton confided to his friends... Hold on. Newton was also indicted for pistol whipping his tailor, Preston Collins. Although Newton confided to his friends that Kathleen Smith was his first non-political murder, he was ultimately acquitted after one witness's testimony was impeached by her admission that she had been smoking marijuana on the night of the murder, and another prostitute witness recanted her testimony. Newton was also acquitted of assaulting Preston Collins after Collins refused to press charges. Interesting. Convenient. Very convenient. Ugh. This is interesting. Panther leader Elaine Brown hired Betty Van Patter in 1974 as a bookkeeper. Van Patter had previously served as a bookkeeper for Ramparts magazine and was introduced to Panther leadership by David Horowitz. Interesting. So interesting that David Horowitz, an American conservative writer and activist, this is the way he's described, right, in Wikipedia. Very interesting. Is the one who introduced Betty Van Patter to the Black Panthers. That's interesting. That is super interesting. How deep does that rabbit hole go? He is, before you ask, he is Jewish. Just before you ask, I know somebody's typing it in chat. Is there anybody who typed that in chat? Black Panthers are right wing. What are your thoughts on removing the Democratic vote for senators and returning it to the state house? Disagree. Watching Kai instead of listening to that new Drake. Well, I'm going to listen to the new Drake too. Yeah, Drippy some drips at it. Yep. Eldridge Cleaver repented and joined the church in 1983. Did he really? Is that true? Dude, is that so real? Hold on. No way. No freaking way. Yeah, during exile, he became disillusioned with communist regimes and converted to Christianity. Upon returning to the U.S. in 1975, he underwent a dramatic political shift, became a born-again Christian, and later Republican, endorsing Ronald Reagan and running for public office. Wow. Very interesting, dude. Hold on. Is this real? Yeah. No way. After being 7 years in exile in Cuba, Algeria, and France, he returned to the U.S. in 1975. Robertson, thanks for the follow. Where he designed provocative clothes for men, and later became involved with various religious groups, Unification Church, Collegiate Association of Research Principles. What the heck is that? It is an Abrahamic monotheistic new religious movement whose members are called Unificationists, or sometimes informally Moonies, before joining the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Very, very interesting. Yeah, he was baptized on December 11th, 1983. Periodically attended regular services and lectured by invitation at LDS gatherings. No freaking way. I think somebody was telling me about him. Dude, that's crazy. No freaking way. Hey, shout out. The atonement is real. That, dude, talk about coming from a very rough past. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's actually crazy. Now let's be clear, that's not the guy we were just talking about. Eldridge Cleaver is not Mr. Huey. And what's his name? Huey. What's his last name? Why am I blanking on this? Huey Newton. And anyway, going back into Betty Van Patter. Yeah, David Horowitz, prominent figure in the New Left during the 1960s and early 1970s, became a close confidant of the Black Panther Party co-founder Huey P. Newton, helped raise money and establish the Panther-run Oakland Community Learning Center. And then after the disappearance and murder of Betty Van Patter, who had discovered financial discrepancies within the party and warned of tax issues before she was killed, he became convinced that the Panthers were responsible for her death, a belief that ended his career on the left and catalyzed his transformation into a conservative activist. Interesting. So that's the pivotal moment for Mr. David Horowitz. Very interesting. I guess, hey, look, I guess we can't fault him for what he didn't know at the time. Although, very interesting political development. FBI files investigating Van Patter were destroyed in 2009 for reasons the FBI has declined to provide. Interesting. In 1977, Newton returned from exile in Cuba and received complaints that from male members about the excessive power of women in the organization, who now outnumbered men. According to Elaine Brown, Newton authorized the physical punishment of school administrator Regina Davis for scolding a male coworker. Davis was hospitalized with a broken jaw. Brown said, quote, the beating of Regina would be taken as a clear signal that the words Panther and comrade had taken on a gender-on-gender connotation, denoting an inferiority in the female half of us. Wow. They attempted to assassinate Crystal Gray, who was a prosecution witness in Huey Newton's upcoming trial of the murder of Kathleen Smith. But the Black Panthers attacked the wrong house by mistake, and the occupant of the house fired back and killed one of the Panthers. That's just crazy. Man. That's crazy, dude. Sounds like a real stand-up group. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
And engaging in, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you think about like the Black Panthers and those sorts of movements. I mean, absolutely. It's heartening to see people watching out for their neighbors.
Sounds like some real stand-up guys,
those are
you know?
Individual decisions, right? I wouldn't like direct people
Jerry
to go out
Phillips
and do that if they're uncomfortable, but I think
not all who wonder are lost. Thank you for subscribing.
For folks that are willing to go out and play that role, I would applaud them.
All right. So let's talk about a controversy that's near and dear to my heart, something that I've also personally
Hey bro, it's
have
late.
a lot of experience.
Yes, it is,
with.
Lisa.
This is going to be a tough one. Drink your water
Yes,
first. Okay, you know what's coming.
Dude, why is he drinking with 2 hands? Why is Nate drinking with 2 hands? He must be thirsty. I was about to do the action, but that probably looks really sus, bro. It's like pause. Bro, it would be like this. It'd be, what is dude doing? It's like, I got my water bottle. I'm like, okay, I can't even, it looks too sus. But why is bro drinking with 2 hands?
You're the subject of a recent scandal.
Yeah.
In 2011, when you were around 20-ish years old, you made a lot of shit posts online.
Yes.
Which is a crime that is, of course, worthy of an unlimited maximum prison sentence. You've made a lot of jokes. Some of those jokes were not well received. Now, I'm not going to do the same thing that every media outlet or every interview will plague you with for the rest of your life.
Tyler Russell no freaking way. We got Tyler Russell in the chat. Tyler Russell, look at this guy. Look at this freaking guy. Yeah, we gotta make Tyler a mod. We gotta make this guy a mod. Hold up, let me get it started. BB with the Robins. Looking how retarded. Where's my creator dashboard? Tyler, you gotta help me out with this kick thing, man. I'm not the GOAT like that. I am not the GOAT like that. You gotta help me out, big guy. I gotta work on my path to monetization as well. Okay, I found it though, I think. Maybe it's in community. Roles. Where's Tyler? There he is. Boom. Tyler has been added as a moderator. Love to see it.
Intimately familiar with.
We're watching Nate Blouin. He's running for Congress. He's like a crazy like progressive running for Congress in Utah's new Democratic district. And he was on with Hassan today. Crazy stuff. He drank water with 2 hands. Look at this.
You can be tough.
Look at this soy boy.
First. Okay, you know what's
Look at this soy boy, bro.
Jokes.
Oh wait, we can see the watch there. Hold on, what watch is that? That's not a PRX.
In 2011, when you would be tough one, drink your water first. Okay, you know what's coming.
Yeah, not a PRX. I have no idea
what
watch that is.
You're the subject of a recent scandal.
Yeah.
In 2011,
he's recently quit using sippy cups.
Around 20-ish years old, you made a lot of shit posts online.
Yes.
Which is a crime that is, of course, worthy of an unlimited maximum prison sentence.
So true.
You've made a lot of jokes. Some of those jokes were not well received. Now, I'm not going to do the same thing that every media outlet or every interview will plague you with for the rest of your life. Most likely something that I'm, again, very intimately familiar with. The demand you grovel and apologize. You've already done so on numerous occasions, and you know, talk about accountability and whatnot. I don't think that's interesting. I think it's more interesting.
So true.
To ask you how you feel as a younger candidate, what the future looks like for shit posters who are running for office. Do you think that people should be quote unquote held accountable over and over again for things that they've said, rather than actual political accountability for things that they're doing?
Right. And I think this ties into people being afraid to talk about issues that actually matter in the present day, like Ben McAdams voting against increasing the minimum wage, like him voting against a war powers resolution on Iran that actually Mike Lee somehow supported back in his term. Like he would rather his campaign, you know, the folks who put this out there, whoever that was,
bro, Mike Lee,
rather talk about, you know, 2 decades.
So Mike Lee was in favor of the war powers resolution, and Ben McAdams was not. That's crazy.
Dumb stuff that I said online that I have fully apologized for, that I took accountability for. I don't stand behind any of it. It was like a different time in my life, and I frankly I felt sick when I read those posts. I was like, oh man,
Ezra
I did say those
Benson
things
warned me about these
and
guys.
made me physically ill.
And
what I would put out there to folks, you know, we put out a Substack. I put out a Substack post, you know, walked through like how I'd evolved on some of these things. There was
Substack, bro. I never want to hear a politician say I put out a Substack post. I never want to hear that sentence again in my life. That was a nightmare sentence right there.
Stuff I said about the LDS Church, which certainly has a very large population in Utah, and you know, I've married into a family that is LDS, and so having to, you know, be in close quarters with those folks, and you know, understanding how their faith shapes many attributes that I really admire in them, I think has moved me along. But I would say it does really concern me for politics, for business, for leadership, and other scenarios where someone evolves over the years but said something stupid, said, you know, many stupid things in the past.
Yeah, respect
what
the church,
do people
that's
want
real.
for accountability? I guess that's a question I have for folks, is like, what does that look like? What do people want to see out of, you know, younger people seeking positions of leadership? What makes them feel comfortable, you know, acknowledging that we've moved on, that sort of thing, that we've grown and become bigger and better people. And yeah, I think it's going to become more and more prevalent. Of course, we saw the Graham Plattner situation and how that shaped the race. And So I think it's up to the public. I think in a lot of ways to say what
I
is
think
acceptable.
Nate is saying that it made him win the Graham Plattner situation. It's like he's still leading the polls.
You know, when does the statute of limitations?
Tim Pool believes he's like a secret Nazi. Tim Pool believes that Graham Plattner's a secret Nazi, but I think everybody else understands he's not.
Run out. You know, what sort of apology do we need? And you know, those are questions I've tried to answer, but I think for a lot of different people, it has a lot of different responses.
What do you think is worse?
Hitler?
Shit posts and things that you've said that sometimes, especially without the, especially with the negative framing, can be beyond controversial that you don't mean, or greenlighting the genocide of Palestinians.
I would have to go with the latter there. Yeah.
Okay.
The genocide. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
What
bad.
do you think is worse?
Holy leading question. It's true though. It's true. It's true.
Things you might have said, or things the current president is saying from the bully pulpit.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing coming out of the presidency on a normal basis is horrific.
Okay. I'm gonna play a soundbite for you. I want to hear what you have. What do you think about this?
Legalize comedy.
How does that make you feel?
Legalize comedy.
Yeah. I think we should legalize.
Oh, not Elon Musk.
Comedy. I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Okay. You brought up Graham Plattner, so I gotta ask. Yeah. You don't have any tattoos with skulls, right, on you? Anything?
Do you want to go through the whole list?
Okay. Lightning, ancient Hindu or Buddhist symbols.
I not only do I have none of those things, I have no tattoos.
No. Okay.
Which probably makes me way less cool than other people, than my wife who has tattoos.
Dude, Nate Blouin doesn't have tattoos. Is this guy way more based than we thought? Guys, is Nate Blouin... Maybe he's onto something, guys. If Nate Blouin doesn't have tattoos, you guys have zero excuses. Because tattoos are a psychological... They correlate very significantly with a psychological type that is very low impulse control, that cannot rationalize consequence. So if Nate Blouin does not have tattoos, which honestly to me is a surprise, what's your excuse? Don't get tattoos. Don't get tattoos. I'll still love you if you do. I will still love you. I promise you, I still love you if you do, but don't get tattoos. Please.
There's not going to be any cover-ups of tattoos in the near future.
Disappoint folks.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to some different things. I do think. Well, actually, you know what? The last note I wanted to say is, look, I think that we are in a very different time politically. I think in some ways, Donald.
Cactus Spartan says, "Is Nate based and hiding his power level, or is he LARPing?" We asked the big questions here. Yeah, he's on that Graham Plattner grind. He's on that Graham Plattner grind. He's like a secret neo-Nazi running as a radical progressive. That's maybe Tim Pool is right.
There is
maybe Tim Pool is right.
Real there's no real gracious way to receive people holding themselves accountable. This is my own personal opinion. I feel like we should give a lot more respect to people who do say, look, these are things I said. It was really messed up. I don't agree with them. It doesn't represent who I am now. And be a little bit more understanding of the evolution that people have had.
Yeah.
Especially because in the post-Trump era, like, no one ever apologizes.
Right.
Like, Donald Trump has never apologized. He only doubles down. And it's actually beneficial to just double down.
Yeah.
If I was privately offering consultation to a politician and they were like, hey, these posts came out, what should I do? I'd be like, just fucking double down.
Yeah.
And you're like, listen, you just be like, look, some of this stuff doesn't represent who I am, but like, I'm obviously joking. And I think there's more serious issues to focus on.
I agree. Let's try to raise the minimum wage. Let's try to protect reproductive freedom. Let's try to end genocide in Gaza. Those are what I want to focus on.
Yeah. All right. Well, another area of focus on energy.
Yeah.
You're unusually concrete with your advocacy for geothermal, energy storage, and grid enhancing technology and making data centers pay real community costs. So talk to me about your background in green tech and how these industries have the potential to create new high-paying jobs in Utah.
Oh, I'm so excited to be talking about geothermal. This is my favorite. Geothermal, I was actually talking about this in an Uber earlier with someone, if you can, understand where I'm coming from here. I worked for a trade association focused on large-scale renewable energy several years ago before leaving that job to serve in the legislature. And, was promoting large-scale wind, solar, battery storage, the projects that are really defining the Green New Deal in many ways, which I support, and playing into that. And geothermal in particular is super cool because and actually California is one of the other major geothermal producing states, but geothermal is basically, leveraging the heat from underneath the ground and creating steam and spinning a turbine. And so it powers the grid the entire day, 24/7, 365. And it is really cool. This new technology they're using is basically they're drilling, they're fracking, which sounds bad. I don't like fracking when it's natural gas because they're using all these nasty chemicals and stuff, but you can actually take the workforce from the oil and gas fields and transition them over to doing very similar jobs in the clean energy space in geothermal, which is going to be really beneficial to like backing up the wind and solar that we need on the grid. So I love this story. It's like bipartisan. I think both like Mike Lee and AOC have run legislation on geothermal energy.
My support for geothermal energy. Now that you said Mike Lee is in.
Sorry. I heard Mike Lee.
On board with
you should love it. It's the one thing that he does maybe that that we should support.
Okay.
Base Mike Lee.
But yeah. We already talked about Kevin O'Leary and the massive fight happening in Box Elder County, but I want to ask you another question on this. You've called for a total moratorium on these data centers, as Bernie has as well. How do we stop tech billionaires from draining our public water and skyrocketing our utility bills just to power their AI slop generators and their mass surveillance facilities?
We got to get money out of politics. I mean, you got to stop letting these people own our politicians and our system, right? I mean, it's not going to stop until that's what we see happen. Until we work around Citizens United, hopefully get a Supreme Court that'll overturn it at some point. That'll overturn that decision at some point. That's the way to do it. Is we need to balance the system in a way that actually works for our interests, not for the billionaire interests. And I don't think we will ever see the real change we need until we actually address those sorts of things.
In the state Senate, you introduced legislation to impose a 1% additional tax on Utahns, making over $1 million a year to fund education and refund working families. Why do you hate the rich?
I think they are doing just fine, and that I see people struggling every day that I talk to in my role as an elected official and out on the campaign trail.
Right? Because they now have to pay 1% extra.
They've got to get that B on the front for them to really be making it, right? They can be a billionaire at this point. I mean,
Sigma grind set.
I'm just not.
Oh my gosh, they're such Redditors. They are such Redditors. I'm so
worried
sorry.
about people who are pulling in over $1 million a year. They can take care of themselves, and I feel like government's role is to take care of all of us. And
how
that
long
means,
does this go on?
You know, Alta Ski Resort and Snowbird Ski Resort. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's Alta. And it's a problem with Democrats nationally, is that we see these sorts of issues and we back down, and our instinct is to compromise and all that stuff. And I just don't think that's right. It's been a pathway to citizenship for everyone who comes here with good intentions. And I think that also plays into rebuilding our standing on the world stage. You know, we need to stop enabling genocide in Gaza. I think those things all play together as part of a bigger picture need to rebuild our image and play a better role in the world. We need to pass a Green New Deal. I mentioned that earlier. I think that plays into the data center aspect here. Let's stop, creating. Have an opponent who is not focused on those things, who is focused on, I think, just preserving the status quo, and that is just not what people want right now. And he's served in Congress before. He has the name ID. He's had the money, but we've had the momentum. I mean, you talk about being outspent 4-1. He spent well over $100,000 gathering signatures to get on the ballot. We spent like 15,000. So we mostly did that with a volunteer effort, which shows that we built a strong campaign that can actually win here and represent progressive values in DC.
Shows that you were not confident.
Again, June 23rd, and by mail received by June 23rd. Early voting is available to all voters. At least for the time being, until Trump decides to take that away, even though Utah is a deep red state. And early voting start and end dates are June 9th to June 19th. And the polls are open on Election Day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank you, Nate Blouin, so much for coming on.
Thank you, Hassan.
Wonderful having you.
Appreciate it.
Hold on. Handshake.
Right.
Let's analyze it. Let's analyze the handshake.
Back to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank you, Nate Blouin, so much for coming on.
Thank you, Hassan.
Wonderful having you.
Appreciate it.
That looks fine. It looks fine. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get back to the broadcast right now. Hold on.
It's like, okay, do I just
okay.
Bro, dude, he got cut out.
1 second.
That was literally like, all right, I'm gone.
Yeah, we'll do a quick photo real quick. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. We're going to get back to the Beijing summit right now, chat. And I'll be back in a second.
China is our chief geopolitical rival, and that China is, in fact,
he's got the banana and the Cliff Bar, bro.
States and catching up to us.
And are we in a situation now where even European allies are now looking more to the east than to the west?
And I think a lot of
the pants look fine. Michael was talking about that earlier in the chat. The pants look fine.
Right, and you're right.
All right, let's skip forward until he comes back. Oh, he's back already. That was a quick photo. What is he saying? Asian Mormon, translate, please. Asian Mormon, what is being said? Asian Mormon, help! Asian Mormon, please! Translate! Oh, there's my bad. I didn't realize there was subtitles.
台独与台海和平水火不容，维护台海和平稳定是中美双方最大公约数，美方务必慎之又慎处理。
Okay, he's back.
Our resolve to
Wait, what? Secret Service standoff? Chinese security allegedly blocked armed Secret Service agent from entering Trump-Xi event in Beijing, triggering a standoff that delayed the entry for over 30.
Who's in the chat from Utah? Let's see if I recognize any of these.
Wait, what?
Any of these chuds? Let's effing go, Nate. Utah chatters rise. Let's effing go, Nate. Utah chatters rise. Let's effing go, Nate. Utah chatters rise. That was great. Thanks, Hassan. Let's look this guy up. Kodak Browns. He'd probably be on Instagram. Maybe he's on X. Let's look this guy up. Oh, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, it took me
standoff.
1
Chinese
second.
security allegedly blocked arms.
See if there's anybody else in chat who we got to look up. Hold up.
Secret Service.
Thanks for having Nate on. He's the fighter we need for Utah and for the country. All right, let's look this person up as well on X. If they know about Nate, they're on X. Let's see. Frank Gambino, maybe. Nah, let's do. I only had one question for Nate. Yeah, well, he didn't take questions because that would have been too difficult. Valkyrie Vagabond. This might be it. No, he's from Kansas. Is this one? Doesn't say. Looks like Utah though. I think this is. Yeah, this is probably her. Yeah, just a post about Mike Lee resigning. Okay, nothing burger there. Who else do we have?
This agent from entering Trump Xi event in Beijing, triggering a standoff that delayed the entry for over 30 minutes, according to reports. What the fuck?
All right, let's not say the F word, please. Thank you. All right. Look like a Mormon, act like a woke. Look like a Mormon, act like a woke. Look like a Meg Noob 614. Nope. Nothing.
Bro, it don't work that way. It don't work that way.
He's not gonna say anything.
You don't get to do that.
He's not saying anything about Nate.
That.
Not saying anything about Nate. Just like, that was it. That was it. All right, well, sorry about that, Nate. I hope the photo was good. Now we can look at who the average Salt Lake Hassan viewer, Nate supporter is.
Another stand.
Let's give this a look-see. Terrific.
Ending America's war on Iran.
Repost Hassan. Graham Plattner.
I think we need to understand that the Democratic Party needs to form a theory of power. I don't think it's had one for a long time. It's had a theory of management. The Republican Party has, which is one of the reasons why we find ourselves in these straits. With a
let's see, the media. Minnesota, that's funny. Very Reddit, photo of Dua Lipa. And nothing else too crazy. All right, real. Is that Lauren Southern? Seems pretty chill. Larry Bird jersey, okay. Alrighty. Well, hey, that's that. Hey, I suppose that is that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to go Betty nighttime. It's late. I've been getting to bed really late recently. I've been getting to bed at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. actually. Several nights in a row. It's not good for me. It's not good for me. I need to get to bed earlier. That was fun, though. I think we had a good time on this stream. There's some other Hassan videos that I hope to get into at a later date because I was looking at them and I'm like, oh, this kind of seems like content. But hey, thank you guys all so much for being here. Who do we have in the kick chat? Deseret Kansan, Drippy Some Drip. Thank you so much. We had Tyler, Mad Dog. Good to see you guys. Meow, of course. Theophilus Bartholomew. Lisa. So good to see you, Lisa. Drew. Good to see you, Drew. Hey, love you, big guy. You know what? Drew's in here. That inspired me. We're going to read a scripture. And I was going to read in the digital scriptures, but let's read from the physical scriptures. Physical is way better. The physical scriptures, always better. Uh-oh. Studio's falling apart. That's my bad. That's my bad. Oh, my goodness. Studio's still falling apart. Studio oh, my goodness. What's happening now? Let's just scoot this. If we scoot this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's read here from the Book of Mormon. Oh, yeah, Deseret, honeybee. This is good. This is good. Let's see. Okay, ready? For he did cry from the morning, even until the going down of the sun. This is Ether 12, 3 and 4. It says, for he did cry from the morning, even till the going down of the setting of the sun, exhorting the people to believe in God unto repentance, lest they should be destroyed, saying unto them that by faith all things are fulfilled. Wherefore whoso believeth in God might with surety hope for a better world, yea, even a place at the right hand of God, which hope cometh of faith, maketh an anchor to the souls of men, which would make them sure and steadfast, always abounding in good works, being led to glorify God. That's a banger. Faith in God. Whoso believeth in God with a surety, hope for a better world. Very important. You got to be optimistic. If you believe in God, but you don't hope for a better world, what are you doing? You're confusing it. You're missing a part of the process. And that faith makes an anchor for your soul, and it will make you sure and steadfast, always abounding in good works, being led to glorify God. And that's actually really cool. It's that the faith leads you to glorify God, which is really cool, actually. You have faith. It creates an anchor for your soul. That anchor for your soul helps you abound in good works, and those good works lead you to glorify God. That's pretty based, if I do say so myself. So, hey, I think that's where we'll end it, guys. It's been fantastic to be with you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That was Ether, chapter 12, verse 4. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Kiss your parents goodnight. Well, they're probably in bed already. Tell them you love them at the earliest opportunity tomorrow. Pray for somebody who needs a prayer before you go to bed tonight. And you guys should all get to bed soon because it's already very late. Think about somebody. Just think hard for a second. Very intentionally think about somebody in your life who you think might need a prayer. And then kneel by your bedside and pray for them in a sincere way. I promise you will feel the love of God as you do it. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. We will see you all in the next stream, hopefully Saturday night. Adios.